What is happening? And welcome to your Thursday Night Delight. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Sean the Right Way, and joining me, as always, from a new location this time is Brent from Brent's Bricks.
What up? Feels weird being.
We have a very special show. Our guests are going to be joining us shortly. We'll give them the proper introductions when they get here, because we are... We'll let it ride for a minute.
The OGs, man. We'll let it ride for ourselves.
Bounce. A couple of brickheads. Yeah. Go. Ooh, I love that part, Brent. It gets me every time.
I know, I used to make jokes about that part. Like,
it's serious.
Like 60 episodes ago.
It is a couple of brickheads coming to you live this Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. The day after, Brent, the day after a pretty fun day of releases, to be honest with you, on March 1st.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was out there in the trenches. I was out there in person, feeling it out, feeling out the crowd. We'll get into it a little later.
No, for sure. Guys, tonight, very special guest. They'll be joining us in just a bit. We're going to have Ryan from MANDR Productions live on a couple of brickheads, as well as Tyler from LIFEBRICKS, and we're going to be talking the state of Lego Star Wars. Brent, there's a lot going on, and I figured we had to bring, let's face it, right, the two biggest players in the game, and get them here on a couple of brickheads to chop it up and see what's what with this.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else better to have, really, if we're going to talk about the state of Lego Star Wars. We should have just messed with everybody and been like, guys, sorry, they both canceled. It's just going to be us today.
Psych. No, but listen, I know there's a lot of new folks in here. They are on their way. Tyler was traveling. I don't want to give any spoilers, but Tyler was procuring something quite girthy and quite awesome. And I think the Eagle has landed. He'll tell you about what he was doing. He's on a road trip right now. And then, Ryan, busy man, new house, things going on. He'll join us shortly. So bear with us. They'll be here in a few.
Oh, dude, man. I know all about moving and how hectic that can be.
I'll be doing that soon as well. But before we get rolling into a couple of topics tonight, Brent, again, we got some new folks here, and we've also got folks that have been down since day one with a couple of brickheads. And of course, I'm referring to, the one and only.
Sure. There's a lot of people down there right now. Might take like 15 minutes to get through everybody. But anyways, big shout out to you early birds in the chat. We got Jacob Neely. Giovanni, he was here like an hour early. We got 770 Moments of the Magic. What up, Mom? Oh, and then there's Tyler in the chat saying maybe a couple minutes late, just getting off the highway. Man's on a mission. The man is on a mission. Then we also got Hoarder 66. Big shout out to Will. I may need to do that like 2 more times. There's a lot of people in the chat right now.
Get it faster.
Scott Davis, what's good? Frizz, Anthony.
So damn good.
Sorry, I have to scroll a lot. Seattle fan Calvin, what's up, Calvin? We got Joseph Nallis. Sorry, I have to scroll a lot. El Cobra Commander, Bricklock, what's good, Bricklock?
Gang.
Richie, what up, Richie? Our Toy World. Did somebody say Mayo? What's good, Mayo? What's good, Mayo?
What up?
GLS saying I was the reason we were late, but I was not. Just let you know.
So damn good.
SD Bricks, what up, SD Bricks? Devin, what up, Devin? Amanda, Will Brick Productions. Just bricking around, what is good? Blank Carving. Ben the Builder, what's up, Ben? Dr. Disrespect. I think that's everyone. It just keeps going, Sean. There's a lot.
We'll try to chat you guys out.
There's
Again,
a lot of people.
If you're just joining, welcome to a couple of brickheads. There he is. Let's get him in there.
There's a lot of people in the chat. What up,
Brian, I'm
Brian?
sorry you missed the grand intro. You know, I wanted you to bob the head, put the glasses
All
on.
good.
I know it's your fave.
All
Dude,
the things to miss.
it's wild seeing you in a new spot, man. How does it feel? What does it look like? What does it
It's
feel
very-
like? What does it
it's
taste
very
like?
nice. It's
Yeah?
nice to yell and make noise and feel free.
Oh yeah.
It's just good.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you, bud. That's a big moment, and it's well deserved. And yeah, man, I can't wait to see what you do. I know you got grand plans you've been teasing us out with. Those of you that watch your channel.
Yeah.
I just got these tables. If you want to make me full screen, I'm not going to touch the camera because the camera, the only camera I have is like the really finicky one that sometimes like if I touch it, it disconnects and then it doesn't work anymore. So I'm not going to touch it. But I got 4 tables set up today, so I can do whatever I would like on them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you end up doing I saw your vid. I think you said you're deciding between one sort of girthy boy, but then you did 4 so you could play with it and move it around if you needed to. That equaled the one big table.
Yeah, if I did the one big table, that would have been like the stupidest thing I would have done in a long time.
Right.
That would have been a massive mistake. And so I kind of like was like playing around with different ideas. And then the other day I was just at Costco and I like came across these tables that were $150. And I'm like, that seems really, because I was going to spend like $1,200 on like one big one, but these are like really nice wood top, metal bottom,
Nice.
Hold plenty of weight. And it's like, for $600, I can have the 4 foot by 8 foot setup I want. But then when I don't want that, I can just move them somewhere else.
Yeah.
Now, do you know if you're going to primarily film out of one room, or are you planning? I mean, I know you got your office that you're getting set up in Longwood.
I will have lots of different things being filmed.
Different
in lots of
locales,
different
even
places.
within the M&R crib as well.
I'm
You'll
not,
have.
I'm not like tied down to one specific thing. Like if I want to film my Q&A in the other room, I'm just going to do it. But yeah, I'm just not tied down to anything. If I'm going to build a mock, it's going to be in here, obviously. But a lot of other stuff can kind of move as I see fit.
Nice.
Sean,
Is
I
your
gotta
stuff-
point it out.
Go ahead.
Sean has been wanting so bad to crack 100 live viewers, and we have done that, Sean.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan and Tyler.
Shout out to Ryan.
We
Hey,
did
we've been
it.
building a little momentum over here, but I've certainly, Ryan, appreciate you coming over, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk shit tonight.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
I
That's
don't
gonna be a good
know.
Well, you already know the
That's good.
setup, Ryan. In some of these topics, it's going to be a 3-on-1 where we have the prequel boys against the old man OT rider over here. But I feel like you guys are all pretty level-headed when it comes to why certain decisions are made.
Yeah, I mean,
clearly.
like
we'll get into it.
yeah, I like the OT a lot. I do, but I mean, yeah.
Where's
I
Tyler?
Oh yeah, I think he's about. He said he was getting off the highway in the chat earlier. So
Ryan, do you know what he's doing? Don't say it, but do you know what he's doing?
It's on a very important mission.
He posted about it on Instagram, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he did. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know if it
I
was
don't
a
think
secret.
I don't think it's hush hush.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Well, maybe even for the show, I want him to come in and say it, even though it's probably out there. That's all right.
Yeah, sure.
Shout out to Max in the chat. He's on
I'm a
road
promoter,
trip.
Ryan. That's what I do. I'm a promoter. I want to rile the crowd up. Before we go any further here, we're going to get into March 1st. Real quick, because I always forget. A couple of plugs. Guys, like and sub if you haven't yet.
I was just about to
have,
remind you.
yeah, thanks, man. We
always
we're
forget.
terrible at it, Ryan. We're terrible at it. Please like and sub. We always have really cool guests. And even when we don't have cool guests, hopefully you stick around and watch us chop it up. We have a lot of fun on this show. Definitely the show for adults. We say things like the F word and the S word and we have beverages, and it's a lot of fun. It's just dudes talking Lego. So if you enjoy that sort of thing, give us a like and a sub. Man, that was a terrible pitch. All right.
Should have let me do it. It's fine.
That being said, like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you. Like, comment, and subscribe. And real quick, Tyler, welcome to the show, bud.
He
What's
looks
up?
like a man who just went on a mission.
Bro, I'm deadbeat right now, man. 12 hour trip, and it was all worth it. Since you guys don't actually know the best part about the story, but we'll get into it, I guess, at some point.
I want to hear everything about it. So you didn't miss much. You missed the intro. I know it's your favorite part, Tyler. You could have bobbed your head as well. Ryan came in. He's in his.
I missed out.
Yep.
That's my God.
He's in his new space, man. We gave big congrats again to Ryan. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
Ryan,
Can't wait to
congratulations,
see
man, dude. I'm happy for you. I really am. It's been a long time coming.
I'm very
Dude,
excited.
it's been like I swear, dude, I swear it was like 3 years ago is when the talks of trying to find a house has like started.
Well, and then shit hit the fan. So
Well,
not much you can do.
No, it would, but then Ryan, as is with these things, because we follow your stuff, obviously, and it's like the talk did kind of die down. There was a point where you were like, sort of like, yeah, I'll wait another year for the rates to drop, and then kind of out of nowhere, I guess the stars aligned or something, right? Because I felt like it wasn't going to happen for a year.
I was looking for an apartment, kind of seriously, and then I just kind of stumbled into this place, and I was like, oh shit, I'll buy that. And like the night, it just popped up on wherever, and the same night I went and saw it and put in an offer like same day. Like I was done the same day. So that was that quick. It literally was like that, one night it was there and within 24 hours it was done, Damn. So yeah, out of nowhere is about right with that. That's kind of like, because people are like, when is it going to happen? I'm like, I don't like whenever I find what I need. And then I found what I needed. You know what I mean? Like you just can't really put a timetable on that. But I not religious or anything, but like I do look at life like everything happens for a reason, and everything has a reaction. Like everything's like basically a fork in the road. And so not getting XYZ house for like 2 years or whatever, sorry, not 5, has led me to the perfect place that I needed to be, with the Lego store that's opening nearby, that I'm going to have the office space there. Because if I had bought a house in Melbourne a year ago,
oh, forget it.
I could probably sell it and move, but like I wouldn't want to. I was
going to say you weren't going to do that. You weren't going to do that commute. I'm from that area.
No, I wouldn't do the commute. I definitely wouldn't. That would have
been at what, $120 maybe?
Yeah, I wouldn't do the commute, but I would have considered moving again, but I wouldn't probably have done that. So everything worked out basically, and that's everything always works out.
Brent, I think your phone keeps buzzing really loud. Can you?
Oh, I'll fix
do something with your phone.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. All right. Well, you don't have to leave. I mean, just fix the phone. So guys, welcome to the show. A lot of new viewers here. Appreciate both of you guys sending the word out to your bases. Much appreciated. Let's just, before we get into the heavy Star Wars stuff, let's just talk current stuff real quick. March 1st release, just a quick recap. What did you guys think about the release? Anything surprise you? We'll get into the big surprise, obviously.
I'll let Tyler go first so I can put stuff on the table.
Okay, cool.
I mean, for me, the release itself, I mean, I got the stuff I wanted early, so it kind of sucks in a regard of, March 1st really wasn't anything special to me.
Ooh, there he goes. He's gonna flex a few things.
But that's basically my March 1st. Everything early and didn't get anything on. All right.
Well, let's pretend you didn't get everything. Is this like, as a casual observer, if you can put yourself in that spot, like what did you think of the March 1st? Like the hype, you know what I mean? Just like as a reporter on the thing, what did you think?
I mean, I'd say the hype, overall, was decent. I think there was a decent amount of hype. People talking about BTS. I think Star Wars, of course, people were looking for. I do like, the fact that Lego is doing a lot more release dates. I do like that. January 1st, March 1st, May 1st, August, September.
August,
I like that. I do like that they're spreading it out more. Kind of gives just more hype throughout the year compared to just say two dates throughout the year. So I think March 1st goes, I think, kind of run of the mill. I think January was probably better than March for
for sure.
Up, but I think it was fine.
Brian, hype wise, view wise, like were people hyped for this thing? I mean, in your space, obviously the helmets, but people had seen them for a few weeks. What have you been seeing on this one?
Helmet reviews just don't get views. Like that's just straight up, just doesn't.
Wow.
They just don't. They got like 50,000 each, maybe max, like maybe 40,000%. Like they just don't. Like people just don't watch those videos. I don't necessarily know why. Other than maybe like it's very much of all the sets that you can look at a picture of and not need to hear someone's opinion on to know if you're, to help nudge you one way or the other. The helmets might be the ones. They are pretty straightforward. What you see is what you get. Mm-hmm. That being said, you should watch my helmet reviews. But yeah, like people were excited for the helmets, I guess. But like I found it a lot more interesting to see all the idiots being like, why would they make a BTS set? And it's like, this is for the Asian market. Like much like Chinese New Year, but not Chinese New Year. Like this is like the Asian K-pop, whatever. Like obviously not for you or I type of set, but they'll sell plenty. Don't worry about why they're making it.
Yeah, and Brent's coming back and forth. We got a little technical snafu, but Brent has made himself a massive. I don't know if you guys know this, but he's made himself
I'm just
massive.
An idiot. Sorry,
You're fine.
Really stupid.
No. Brent, that's not what I was going with, but to say Brent has made himself a BTS fan for the last 3 weeks. And in fact, he
It's
even
getting serious.
drove the hour and a half to get to his local Lego store. And we
serious.
sent him on a recon mission, guys, to see if the hype was real in person. Like, was the BTS army out there? We all saw what happened the night before. I've been on record. Tyler, I know you watched the show. I think what went down is what I think I called that. I'm not trying to, but I was like, it definitely will sell out night one. I want to hear your guys' theory on something, though. It's something that I know about a little bit in the sales and marketing world. Do you think this was a planned sellout? Does that exist? Does Lego do that to drive hype, or are they leaving money on the table? Let me ask you. Let's start there.
I will say I don't think Lego does that. They very well could. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do that. But I also think people put too much stock into the idea that something sold out because they have no clue how many there were. Like, I saw a Penn tweet out like, the Super Star Destroyer sold out, and that just shows how excited people are for this type of set. And I'm like, I agree. I think people are very excited for this set. My video has like almost 200,000 views probably now. But I don't agree that using a sellout of an online pre-order from Lego.com is proof, because it's not. You got to be looking at what's in stores. Sure.
Yeah. They're trying to line up their production. Well, they're produced at this point. They're probably trying to figure out freight. On the is it Executor or Executor? Do we have an official? Okay, thank you. I've heard a couple.
I was told I was wrong, so I'll get it right now.
All right. So the Executor, obviously, they're already produced, so they might be trying to determine logistically, like, are they going to air some of those over? Or are they all on a boat? Stuff like that could be happening with some of these longer range pre-orders. But no, with BTS, like, I know, I wish we had data on this stuff. I really do, because it's like, you're right, Ryan. I mean, if you only have 5 and then they sell out, then it's a sellout. I get what you're saying, but I feel like they had a pretty healthy amount of these because the army is fierce. I pay a little bit of, to pop culture in general, so I knew it would not be your average Friends or Seinfeld or one of those outsider sort of releases. So yeah, I'm not surprised that it sold out. I want to know how legit it is. To your point, is it 50,000 units? Is it 100,000 units for .com? What happened there? On the ground, Brent, it did not sell out while you were there in person?
Not while I was not while I was there, but Bricklock, shout out to Bricklock, messaged me and said all 5 of the surrounding stores in Chicago, like where he lives.
Big market though, yeah.
True. Yeah, but
More
he said
volume.
all his surrounding stores sold out, and then my store did sell out like later in the day. I mean, it was day one sellout, but I hung out there for like an hour, and it was like a mixed bag. Like, people were grabbing speed champs, a couple people were getting Harry Potter stuff. The Ford GT sold out, very first set to sell out at my store, but again, they probably didn't have as many Ford GTs. Great set though, but they probably didn't have as many of those as they did speed champs or the BTS set. But yeah. Oh, and then of course the helmets coming out too. I mean, those were flying off the shelves too. So, but it's just so much, like, all in one release. I mean, you have so many themes that people are going after. I mean, even I was super indecisive. Obviously, I didn't end up going with buying the BTS set. It's like Sean's goal right now to make.
Dude, he backed out. Can you believe this, Tyler? He actually went and then he backed out.
Well,
I just do it for the content. You know what I mean?
I know, but it's $100.
Didn't buy it.
Well, I got other sets that I actually.
Dude, he went and got speed. Ryan, he went and got speed champs. You can get at Walmart.
You could have bought those at Target.
Yeah, but
it's a time.
I know, but I just didn't really like. I'm gonna kick myself if I see it on sale in like a couple months for like $70 or $80 or something.
What, BTS?
BTS?
Yeah.
Okay, that's my next. So, all right, before we get to Executor, BTS. So we're gonna restock. Do we think we get another sort of quick sellout when they restock on .com? Or are we headed for a Queer Eye situation? Because I've heard that
you can't touch Queer Eye for lack of sales. That's impossible.
And Ryan, if you don't remember the last time you were on the show, the foosball situation. This isn't going to turn into one of those.
No, I doubt
I
that.
haven't heard anyone talk about that set in 3 months. Since last time we talked about it.
Ping you to remind you, we got to have the foosball tournament in Chicago. We still
right. I need to talk. I still haven't talked to the guy.
All right, you're a busy man, but I still think that'd be funny. But maybe the meme's over by then. But who knows? By the way, I could bring BTS as my starting squad. I'm just saying. There's a lot of.
You got plenty of players right there.
I do like the idea of bringing your own minifigures to attach to the board. That's funny.
Yeah,
I think it is, and I think there should be 2 prizes. Ryan, whoever wins the tournament And whoever brings the best squad, it could be the funniest, it could be the most valuable. We could figure out whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, while we're talking about Brickworld for a second, you better buy your private day badges because they are almost gone. There's like 57 left in stock. And by the time he's saying that, there's probably like 50 in stock.
I think I bought mine already.
I talked to
I almost
a
got
few
caught
people.
slipping. He reminded me today, and he's like, "There's 57." I'm like, "Oh yeah, all right." Well, you're worried about flights and hotels. I'm like, "Oh, I need the thing too."
Right? Yeah, I booked my room first, but I swear though, like a week ago, there was like 200 some in stock, and then
you texted me. Yeah,
I don't know.
Where are you getting? Do they list how many are left on there or something?
Yeah, it's always said like however many. I think it started at like 500 because I mean, only so many people. You know, there's only so much space for like, you know, the private day shit. I don't know. It's my first year actually doing it the right way, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
So Tyler, I can you're probably a little tired, bud. You've had quite the run, and I love you for showing up.
I'm zoning out a bit, but no, I'm good.
I know. All right, so I'm gonna bring you in. I'm gonna bring you into the convo here. I guess it wasn't a big secret, but dude, congrats on your big acquisition. I've heard you. I've known you a little bit, probably a year at this point, but you've been talking about this thing probably way longer than that.
No.
The Eagle has landed. You've gotten your white whale, which is, of course, can you show it? Can you show it to the gang?
Just in time for the 10-year anniversary too.
And I believe that's Ryan from MNR Productions' #1 ranked UCS set of all time as well. Has that changed, Ryan, or is that still your number one?
I think there's better sets, but I hitched my wagon to that, so I won't let go of it.
Yeah, you don't want to be called into question. I think it's the best too.
I think that or the
for whatever that's worth. I think
it's starting to age a little, though. I'm going to be honest. Every time I look
don't
at
tell
it,
me that now.
Time for
no, it's still fantastic. You won't be unhappy. But
what set's nipping at its heels though, Ryan? Like, are we talking like the girthy AT-AT? Yeah.
No, it's not.
You don't have that.
Bro, Tyler hates that.
I'm not. I mean, I don't hate it, but I think it's a little overrated.
Well, yeah, you don't hate it, but
I would rather have like the Slave 1 or something.
Are people overrating the AT-AT? Nobody's really talking about it.
Tyler is. I don't know about anybody else.
What did you pay for the shuttle?
Me?
Yeah.
I paid $0.
How?
It was free. I went in there with $700 in my pocket, and he just said, "Just take it for free. It's your 10-year anniversary."
No.
Yeah, 100%.
Just a fan.
Yeah,
a follower. What do you want to call it?
I thought this was like something you found on like Facebook Marketplace.
No, he sent me a Twitter DM yesterday.
All right, hold on.
We got it done.
I don't want to play some romantic. I want to play like
Titanic.
We need Celine Dion for this. Hold on. Sorry, I don't want to get the copyright, but all right. So set the table, Tyler. Walk me through it. I know you're going to do it on your channel, but everybody here wants to hear it. You've been talking about this thing since '89, right?
Yeah.
Forever. Walk me through it. Somebody hit you up? Did you see a listing and hit them up? How did this all go down?
Well, I mean, I did that UCS tier ranking the other day, and obviously,
great video, by the way. Shout out to you.
Thank you. I mean, but a lot of people, of course,
I disagree with most of it. But
yeah. But so then a lot of people were saying, I mentioned in there, UCS Imperial Shuttles, my S tier. I've been wanting it for 6-7 years. A whole bunch of people, just commented like, "Hey, look, like hit me up, like I've got one." And obviously it's like, look, if I can just go pick one up, I would rather do that than have someone ship it. It's going to be, because even then, like if I was going to get it, say now and spend $700, $1,000, I'd rather get it for my 10-year anniversary. So I would have to overnight ship it. I think Ryan knows that would be dang well $150 just to overnight ship that probably
for that something that big at least.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like, is it really worth it? So this guy, 3 hours away, hit me up, sent me a video, said he was watching the channel for a while, and I just said, look, I can knock out a couple birds. I can go out there to his house. I can go over to DNA Bricks, runs a Bricklink store, a friend of mine over in Grand Rapids. So I kind of did a whole, I went all the way to get the shuttle, flew back to Grand Rapids, hung out for a little bit there, and then went home. So,
dude, I love stuff like that. Ryan, you talked about the way things are supposed to work out. Tyler, how many times have you almost bought that? Like, seriously?
Well, I mean, literally all the way back in like 2015, 16, I was asking it for a Christmas gift. I was 14 years old asking if, for my dad, for Christmas. But like he always would give me smaller stuff since he said like, hey, look, you'd probably rather get 10 smaller sets than a $500 big set. Maybe he was right. But of course now it's $1,200.
Yeah.
But
right.
I mean, I've been close to actually buying it myself and just pulling that $900 trigger on a marketplace somewhere, maybe 5 times in the past couple of years.
There you go.
Then it was $700. I was fine with that. 100%. I mean, that's a great deal. Like, very bottom end.
Sure, some gas, some time, but whatever. Yeah, that's a good deal.
What did it retail for? Like
$250, right?
260, I think, actually.
Really, an awkward price like that?
I'm pretty sure.
All right, we'll check it. Chat, let us know. There's
plenty of you in there.
All right, so you're heading out there, Tyler, right? Life is a highway, blaring in the background, wind beneath the wings, right? Things happening, beef jerky being eaten, sodas being slammed. You pull up to this house, describe the house. I really want to bring everyone here with you. You're tired, you're a little tired, but you're confident the deal's going to go down. You're seeing the finish line. You get there. Walk me through getting out of the car. What happened next?
Well, naturally, look, I think anyone, when doing a deal like that, like, look, I mean, you don't know what type of house you're going to pull up to. You don't know who you're going to meet. Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's with every case, though. So there's no disrespect to this guy. Of course, once you get to know him, things change. But I pull up. Luckily, the house was like right on like a very busy street, like right at the first house. So it's like, if anything happened, like, look, if he shot me, it's like, I mean, it's right there by a busy road. Someone's gonna see it. Someone's gonna hear the gunshot. So like, I'd be good. So I walked in there. Everything was good. Look, if he's watching, no disrespect at all, but a little bit of a messier house. Okay, but his Lego rooms are clean. So that's pretty funny. So I walk in there, a huge.
Well, I asked you to describe every detail. You're doing well. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I walk in there, huge Lego room. I've got pictures and stuff. I mean, it's gonna be hard to show here, but I mean, he has literally probably 1 or 2 copies of every set from like 2008 to now sealed, but like multiple newer ones, of course.
Star Wars or everything?
Star Wars and Harry Potter are his main 2. Then he's got an attic. You go into the attic, which is also one of the cleanest parts of his house, ironically.
Did he invite you to go into the attic to check things out? Or
I did, but hey, look, that was after he said the set's free. So I'm like, look, at this point, like, he's either just pranking me and he wants me to get tricked and then go up to the attic after thinking he's a nice guy. But I went up there and there was a whole bunch of other stuff.
You see how easy this is, Ryan? He told him the set was free and he was willing to do whatever it took.
Hey, now that you say that, John, it makes me skeptical.
It's just like when your parents, when you were younger, say don't ever accept like free candy from a stranger. It's like you give anyone a free Lego set, you get them to come in your house, go in your attic.
Especially since he knew it was my number 1 most wanted too.
You accidentally push him out the window.
All right, so wait. All right, you did a great job. I want to get into the actual conversation where you knew the thing was going to be free. So you're like, "I'm here, man. Like, here's this." Did he cut you off immediately? Go, "Oh, you actually came here. I can't believe it. It's free." Like, how did that whole thing go?
Well, so I walked into his house. I walked into the door. Went to the left. Then down the hallway was the Lego room. So we were in there. I mean, decently sized room. I mean, I would say probably the size like a regular bedroom, like Ryan's old room, something like that. Just filled with Lego on shelves. We were talking about stuff for a while, and then he also said, he has an attic full of Lego too. So pretty much at that point, I had the UCS Imperial shuttle in my hand. I did not pay for it yet since we were just talking about Star Wars and everything for like 10 minutes. I walk out of that room. I set it down before we go up to the attic, and I said, "Hey, look, before I drag this any farther away from the Lego room, like I just made a comment like that. Like, how would I pay you?" So I pulled out the money and just instantly he's like, "Hey, don't worry about it." Like, I knew all today was going to be a 10-year anniversary gift for you. So that's
awesome.
So of course, gave him a handshake. I said, "I appreciate you very much." And then I went up to the attic happily.
This kind of stuff has happened to us probably all on different levels and whatnot. Ryan, do you have a quick something that was on the rip because they appreciated your work, or
maybe the Death Star too, right?
Too many to think of, or do you have a similar thing happen from your work?
Yeah, I very, very fortunate in that way, like Tyler was today. The Death Star 2 is a good one. I bought the Death Star 2 on eBay for $100, and then it showed up and it was glued. And it's like,
damn, that's some
shoot, it's glued. Like, that sucks. Because I just thought I got a killer deal. I was like over the moon about the deal. And then it shows up and it's all glued. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything with this. Like, not happening. And then a viewer named Mike, who like has he's kind of in the space a little bit now. He does Whatnot, Mike Labreezy, but he's like, "Oh, I'll just send you my Death Star." And I'm like, "Oh, damn, that is a really nice offer." And I'm like, I don't think I can say no to that. So he sent me his Death Star, and I did like a 10-hour build, maybe it was 8-hour build stream with him on it and with some other people. It was a good time. And we did and then what happened to the original Death Star is I ended up selling it for either $10 or $25 to a guy named Colin. He goes to Brick for every year. I sold it for like 10 or $25 to him. And because I was literally just going to throw it away. I brought it to Brick Fair. No one was buying it. And I was like, I'm not bringing this home. It's not happening. So he bought it for like, I think $10, maybe 25. But anyway, he ended up like, he said it was really easy to get the glue off. And I'm like, okay, I guess I missed out. But so he got a Death Star for $10. So, you know, it worked out for someone else too, which was nice.
Pay it forward kind of deal.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, him and his dad like worked through the project, I guess, which must have been fun for them. But yeah.
There you go. I didn't want to take too much of your thunder there, Tyler, because I'm sure you're going to make a. I don't know how much is going to share with everyone, but
yeah, I'm doing a live build all weekend. Yeah,
but that you got to do that story again, man. That's awesome.
And then I guess last thing, just on it. I mean, I did buy this from him too, though. Just you know, I'm like, look, he has this. Like, I needed it, but I gave him full price. It was $80. So, but he doesn't even know the value of anything too. Like, I started talking to him, like,
clearly he does not know.
Well, he literally just buys stuff and he just lets it sit there. I mean, he straight up said, like, he's like, I mean, dude, I don't know what any of this is worth. So I started showing him some prices, and then he started getting a little bit more, you know, damn. But you know, I gave him full price for this because like I had, you know, like, I felt bad, I felt terrible.
Hey man, you have him do. You should be a pass through on your Bricklink store. You know, take your little 10% commission and help him move some stuff.
I mean, dude, he's got. I'm not kidding. I mean, he's probably got.
He's stacked.
I mean, I'm serious when I say he's got
$500,000 in Lego.
I mean, Ryan, I mean, just if it tells you, I mean, any preface of just like, say 2020 and newer sets, I mean, he had like my entire like backdrop here, dude. He had Mandalorian starfighters. I guess, well, okay, not that many, I guess. Mandalorian starfighters, like Republic fighter tanks,
right?
Some of the newer stuff, like genuinely probably half of like my entire backdrop just like stacked.
He had built and then sealed stuff in a different room, or was the sealed and the built stuff like all together?
I mean, he's like maybe 40. I mean, I don't mean to be he's maybe like 35, 40. He's got a couple of kids that, you know,
does he look like
young,
me?
They would build. But now
that's me. It's all right.
So all of his build stuff's
I'm 35, 40. Yeah.
That's a wink.
Yeah, it was a bad wink. I don't even know. I've never learned how to wink.
So that's crazy. So like that's crazy that he would have that much stuff and be like, I don't really know how much any of it's worth. He's like, but I casually have like 3 Imperial shuttles that are all worth
that
like
does surprise me to not know what it's worth.
Yeah. And then there was this thing.
All right, so guys, I think for this topic and for you guys, right, this was sort of the biggest thing to come out of March 1st. Tyler, was I on your? No, you were the admin for City's stream, right?
It was Chris's stream, yeah. Ryan was there too. Did you just
Ryan was
at the right time, Ryan, or was he here the entire time?
No, I think we were all in there together, and I'm going to tell you how I saw it. Well, so everyone was talking about how we were all locked out of the site or whatever, and I was just going as an observer, as a reporter. I was just for me. I was like, I wasn't buying BTS, but I was like, is this going to sell out? You know. Once I kind of got the scoop on that, I'm like, let me see how the helmets are doing. You know, so I went to the Star Wars page purely to see like any chance, you know, Rex sells out or whatever. And I see this and I go, wait, what? What is this? And I watch your guys' shit all the time and, you know, whatever. And I'm on Insta and I follow all that. And I'm like, maybe I missed something. And I'm like, I put in the chat, I'm like, did I miss something? Where did this come from? Like, and then, you know, Tyler, I think, was like, I'll be right back. And everyone's like, he's going to go make content right now.
Yeah, I knew Ryan was making a video too. Right when he said, yeah, what is this? I knew for a fact he ran away to make a video.
Well, that was the thing. It took you two saying, what is this, for me to finally go like, okay, so this is something we don't fully know
Sean,
about.
I only trusted you saying it. I mean, a lot of other people were saying Star Destroyer, but I'm like, you know, no discredit, but I'm like, who are these people saying that? Like, they're probably just faking it. But when you said it, Sean, that's when I went on Lego.com myself. And I'm like, he's right. And then I literally put on a shirt, ran downstairs, made a video.
Yeah, because you know there's trolls, Ryan, right? I'm like, dude, Super Star Destroyer. I'm like, Tyler, are you seeing this? And then he's like, I'm out of here. And then he posted it, and then I'm like, dude, shock drop. And what's funny is that term. So I come from the sneaker world, and I don't know if it's something that's happened here in the Lego world, but that's what they'd call a shock drop, where it's like they kept it such a good secret. Like, I don't know, a pair of Jordans they'll announce on like the sneakers app, such and such shoe right now out of nowhere, and no one had any warning. And this is the first time I've seen something like this since I've been, you know, in the Lego space. So I was like, so I wanted to ask you guys, Ryan, Tyler, has there ever been anything like this where it was like, I mean, you guys might have heard rumblings of this, I'm not sure, but I didn't hear a thing about it.
Yo, Ryan, the Sand Speeder from 2017.
So yeah, it wasn't like something they put on Lego.com, but I kind of like Target. Yeah, it was just found at Target. I also have them with the Ray and Kyler Brickhead same year, I think. But like, some people say like when rumors happen, it's a spoiler, or when pictures leak, it's like when you see it for the first time, you see it for the first time, whether it's Lego.com or pictures
Sure.
from Target. You know, to
Sure.
me, that's the same. It's like, hey, cool picture. What is it? You know, but yeah, it's obviously doesn't happen very commonly. It's fun when it does happen. Like I was playing Modern Warfare 2 ranked, and I just for whatever reason went on my computer and went on Stud City stream. I don't normally do that. I don't know why.
That's crazy timing, man.
I just clicked it and I was like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck?" And I immediately
Let them fly. Yeah.
turned it off and went and did my stuff. I can't remember the last time. I guess okay. So this is the Sand Speeder. I don't think we had a rumor of.
Not at all. I don't
other
think so.
things we didn't have a rumor of that appeared out of nowhere. I'm going through Brick's set right now through the list to jog my memory as I look at pictures to see what's what.
I appreciate it, guys. You know, I only have like I think 4 years in the game at this point, so I didn't know if this was something that was caught. But I'll tell you what, we could use a whole lot. We could use a whole lot more of this. As much as I love the leaks and rumors and stuff, this stuff is awesome.
Don't expect it.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, somebody always.
It's just not how it works. Well, this one is
actually. I haven't sent a message to Falcon yet. I wonder if like, did you have any inkling?
The only reason this one happened is because it's only on Lego.com.
Okay. Oh, so meaning you don't. This isn't going to hit Target, for example.
No.
Gotcha.
Which in my video I said it was like a normal release, and to some degree it is. It's you can buy it for a year or two, but it's not going to be at normal retailers.
So you know that for a fact, Ryan?
Yeah, Tyler's got a theory. Go ahead, Tyler, on your theory about this being like a wacky limited thing, right?
Well, no, I just pre-ordered mine right away because I'm like, look, under the assumption this is something like the Nebulon or Bespin, like, I didn't know right off the bat. Like, as we just said, we only knew about this for 5 minutes before I started talking about it, and it didn't at that time. It didn't even say come on May 1st. At the start, it only said pre-order now. So of course I pre-ordered mine. Just hoping like, look, like if it's exclusive, like I got one. So other than that,
I love your rationale, by the way, and that's a thing that. See, for me, I'm like, I'd love to have more of that in the space, like I love when there's like a one-shot thing. A lot of people don't like that, but Ryan, I think listening to you actually are a fan. Both of you guys are a fan of stuff, maybe being a little more
100%.
limited. It has to be done right, though. It can't be done like the Nebulon.
Yeah.
No, that was a mess. I agree. But like, could you guys just imagine the whining though? I don't, Ryan, you do a little bit of stuff with sneakers. I know that, but could you imagine though? But could you imagine, how the sneakers
Lego makes more than the sneakers. The last time I tried to get sneakers, it was like the last Patriots Air Force Ones, maybe like 6 months ago.
Right. I heard the story. They sold out. You did everything right.
I was there the very second, but they make more Lego sets than they do size 10.5 Patriots Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
Patriots Air Force Ones, yes, but Jordans and stuff like that, no, they make 500,000, 1 million pairs. My point is, like, I think we could use a little dose of that around here. I think it would be crazy. There'd be so much whining and all that stuff. And I'm not trying to say because I'm here for all of it. But like when it comes to sneakers, again, when Yeezy was popping and stuff like that, there was so much salt, but also celebrations when you got them. And you guys know what I'm saying. Like, and then there's the reseller market, and a lot of this stuff doesn't re-release, or if they do, it's very limited, or it's 10 years later.
Right.
My point in saying I like this is, I'm a hype fan. I love hype. I'm sorry. I always will. But it should quell people from complaining about Lego as a hobby being hard to collect. You guys hear, oh, these scalpers and this. It's not. It is the easiest. Yep. You may not get it day one, but that's on you, because I have never tried to get something on day one and failed ever. And I haven't been around long, but I'm just saying, like, if you're there on time and you refresh and whatever, you'll get your set. Or if you get in line. Go ahead, Ryan.
I forgot what I was gonna say. You say so it's easy to collect and you'll get what you want eventually. People told me, I've checked every day for the clone minifig packs and I didn't get one. No, you didn't. No, they were on the website for 3 weeks. You didn't look. You didn't watch my Instagram stories. You weren't trying. I'm sorry. But you did
for $11.99. You mean those when they were on
the new clone packs? Yeah, they were all So, I'm sorry you missed it, but you also didn't do yourself the favor that you should have done.
Yeah,
so, I can't believe the Hoth troopers are like still.
I just want to let you guys know, like, again, if you're always ever upset about something, it's like we have it so easy. I've been in different like sort of collectible worlds, and it is so easy for Lego. It's like
Also, you can just go on eBay and pay $20 more. It sucks, but you can have it, and it won't cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
But I no, dude,
you're not wasting $20 of gas driving to 72 targets. I get
I
on
suppose.
people.
Very
about,
good point, Sean. Very good point.
well, I get
That's what I
on
was gonna
people
ask.
about that. No, but they're the same people that complain about scalpers and resellers and all this, but they'll go to 5 targets. And I'm like, even if you live where gas is reasonable, I'm in LA, it's like $5 or $6 a gallon. So but anywhere else, I'm like, dude, you spent how much time, energy, and worry about this? Just pay the $5 extra, get 3 of them for 75 or whatever, and get them shipped to your house. It's so wild. But I get people like Thrill of the Hunt. I enjoy finding stuff on the pegs. We're all big kids here. We like doing that too. I get the rush, but you know, time, energy, whatever. Go ahead.
No, we're gonna talk more about the Superstar Star Midi-scale.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. So like, it's weird. Like, is Midi-scale coming back? Or?
Yeah, what do you
it's
think,
definitely
dude?
back. There's no way this is a one-off. Like the Nebulon felt like it could be a one-off because it was a Comic-Con thing, but this is a real thing now, and I'm really excited about that. Very nice.
You got 3 of those, Tyler?
What's up?
You got 3 of those?
Oh, you could
I've
get
got 6 of them actually.
You could get so many if
Bro,
you
you
were
should sell
on
me
it
one.
back in the day. Someone bought
I remember that
300,
Yeah.
500, 900 of a set that there's only 5,000 of.
Yeah.
And then I grilled Lego on it, and they're like, and then the guy from Land's like, we had to have a meeting about this. You're making change. I'm like, you're fucking damn right I am. You guys are it's so simple to not mess up, and you mess it up. But anyway, they haven't had a release like that since. Like, they haven't done anything in the vein. So it's not even like we've had the opportunity to see if they actually make the change that they had the meeting about, but they had a meeting about it. Anyway, the price on the new one's $70. Midi-scale historically for the 3 of them that existed were like $40. I guess was the frigate 45? Well,
40,
it might have been
50
just
to
40. It
60.
wasn't 50.
40
Okay.
flat.
50.
I'm pretty sure 40 flat.
Might have been 40. Okay.
So
Anyway,
I
so
could have, I could have got that one, by the way, and I was like, I was real early, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is, and so I didn't get it. But like, I happened to be on that day. I did. Was that? Sorry to interrupt, but was that around the same time? Because this is really when I was getting rolling. Was that around the same time as oh god, I'm drawing a blank. The
Bespin
Vader
Duel.
Luke Bespin Duel. Thank you. Wasn't that in the same window?
Like latter half of 2020, right?
Yeah.
My point is, I feel like it was the same day, same week kind of thing, because I missed on that, and I was like, oh, I should have got that just to hold on to. And my Bespin, and was it Mac? I think it was limit 2 on those. I did grab 2 of those. I was on time for that one. But
Bespin was Target, right?
Yeah,
Am I
that
wrong
one was
on that?
Target.
Target
The other
and,
one was
and
Amazon.
Lego.
okay, so I grabbed 2 on Target, wherever it was. But,
Nebulon
yeah.
was Amazon and Target, right?
Nebula was
Amazon
my
and
first.
Lego.
Or
But
Amazon
see,
and Lego,
again-
my bad. Yeah, not Target.
So I was just getting rolling, and see, that one was more like a sneaker release, right? Where it was SDCC and there was no restock on Nebula. I think a few
So-
showed up. Go ahead.
So the only reason those happened the way they did is because they canceled
No,
COVID.
Comic-Con and whatever
COVID.
that year.
Yeah.
So I do find it interesting the people that bitch about like con exclusives existing, and they're like, well, not everyone can go to the convention. And I'm like, I've been to one of these conventions in my life. It was Star Wars Celebration 2017. I didn't get the exclusive set there because you still have to enter a lot. It's not like this magical thing that if you go, there's the fountain of youth over there that you can just take from. It's like, no, you still got to get lucky. You got to be lucky, and then you got to get lucky again. It's not that easy.
And then Ryan, break down what we just talked about with the gas money and all that on these things.
Yeah, and you got to pay for the hotel if you
The airfare.
You got to drive there. You got to get off work if you have work. All
I mean,
of
it
the
costs
things.
what, 1,000? What's it cost for us to go to Brickworld? What, 1,000 between
It is-
room and the
yeah,
badge?
It's far more economical to just buy the set on eBay
For
for
double the
$100.
price. Right,
Your
exactly.
time, your money, it's all so much less.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like these sorts of things. It's always fun to have that sort of thing. They have definitely shied away from it because people whine about it, but that's life, I guess. And Lego wants to be fair to everyone, even though they never can be, never will be. It's a ridiculous notion, but that's what people want them to try to do, which is just never going to happen. But yeah, so what I found interesting about the Executor, I think it's a fantastic set. $70.
You sounded pumped about it. Yeah.
I think it's worth the money at 70. It's a nice display piece. It's for adults. It's for people that have $70 to kind of just have a thing to put on a shelf. Clearly, people like, it's $10 too much. Every set ever is $10 too much. Everyone says that about everything ever. So it's really hard for me to like sit and look at the comments online and be like, is this the one that's actually $10 too much? Or is this just like every other set that's $10 too much? Because it's like, but the one point I will agree on, I will half agree with people on this, that this set should have had a minifigure. Not because I think it should have a minifigure. I think it's stupid. I think that a display set like this, or like the helmets, and they clearly don't with the helmets, shouldn't have figures. But if you're going to have that stupid little spot on there with the...
Did you see my note I sent you? Or did everybody send you that?
I don't know. That's just... it's to me, it's like, oh, you could...
Right here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, to me, it doesn't add any value. They're going to put Darth Vader there, and everyone has Darth Vader, so who really cares? I don't know why that's your needle mover, but if it is, it's unfortunate for you. And then
we could have put anyone in a uniform right here, right? I mean, anybody. It just could have been anybody from the deck. It could have been.
It would have been good. It wouldn't detract.
All right, Ryan, let me ask you this. If you put a named guy here, you're fine with 79, or if it was a generic sort of officer, would you have done?
Oh no, you don't pay $80 for that. Also, I hate the print for the. No, do I hate the print? The print for the logo for the thing is weird because it's like there's so much black space underneath. What did they do? They used a smaller piece in the helmets.
All right, let me get back in here. So is this similar to, like, this is giving me the R2D2 vibes, if that makes sense? Like the little plaque they gave you with that. Is that kind of what this is?
Yeah, I would just
the
like
latest UCS. What was it, Lucasfilm 50 or whatever, or 40?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a really random print they threw in there. Yeah, it was like 50th.
I love stuff like that. I want 900 of these right here, though. By the way, so we'll figure.
Oh, jeez.
I'm the Jedi guy.
My favorite Reddit comment that I saw, I'll read it word for word. Actually, it's fantastic. It's fantastic what some of these people have to say. It's why I'm kidding. Everyone should be entitled to their own opinion. But the best Reddit comment I saw. Where is this? How far down are we? What day? What's today? Here we go.
Okay.
I think this is on the Lego Leak subreddit. If someone's trying to look for it. At what point do Lego, and this one ended up getting a bunch of upvotes. I saw it like right when it came up, but this is the comment. If people want to track it down, that's his username. Whatever. At what point do Lego fans give up? If this was like 20 to 30% more expensive, no one would buy it, right? How far away are we from people not being able to afford Lego at all anymore? This looks like a $35 to $40 set. It does look cool, but I'll 100% be buying this for $30 from a crackhead that steals one from Walmart. Okay, that was pretty funny. I honestly glossed over that part.
It happens, by the way.
Pretty soon, all sets will be locked up behind glass because the public wants Lego, but it's becoming, and this is my favorite line here, Lego is becoming ridiculously inaccessible. I holistically disagree. If $70 is ridiculously inaccessible, I just don't know what to tell you. Like, it might be too much money for a value proposition for you, and that's fine. And I think that that's going to vary person to person always. But Lego is far from ridiculously inaccessible. That is like the biggest over-exaggeration I've ever seen. And I exaggerate on a lot of things, I feel like.
No, it's like buying a helmet. The helmet prices are all sitting around 70, and this is probably around a similar piece count.
Yeah, would it be better if it's $60? Yeah, but people, like, it's so hard for me because people say if it was $10 cheaper, it'd be better. Like, if it was $60, you'd say it should be $50.
So Ryan, early on when we started the show, what's it been, Brent? Year and a half, whatever ago.
Yeah.
A lot of the chat was like, this is expensive. And again, I was like coming into it and I'm like, well, it's always been this way to me or whatever. This last summer was the first time, I think, right, Brent, where I was finally like the price bitcher guy. Cause I was like, and Ryan, I think you were on, and Tyler, you were on around that time when I was like, that was when we got Hogwarts Express, the Black Panther. It was like that triple header of like ridiculousness.
The Hulkbuster.
I mean, Ryan acquired those through different means, but still, I was like, man, this is crazy. And fortunately, I had no interest in any of those, so I was like, whew, and I think I was saying, like, the thing about FOMO is, like, once you miss the first one and you get over it, it's a lot easier to get over the second and the third one or whatever, especially these $500 bombs just coming out of nowhere. Fortunately, those weren't in themes that I cared about, whatever. I mean, to me, the only ones that I like want to have right now, but I'm like maneuvering for is like, I still need that AT-AT. Like that's the only sort of still on the shelves whale that I need, but I have a little bit of time and I'm building my points and whatever.
Wait for Kohl's Black Friday. You can get it for effectively like 500.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that deal was
I'm going to deeply
insane.
subsidize it. I was originally saving for the Falcon with my VIPs, but then Ryan showed up with legendary. I think it was the legendary Zavi deal. I think it was what, Ryan, 620, 650 shipped or something.
Probably.
Ship for free ship, and it was fantastic.
Has good deals.
Yeah, so I was like, I think it was around Christmas-ish time, and I was like, all right, everybody, this is what I want for Christmas. I'm just gonna buy it and whatever. But yeah, so now I've pivoted to like, all right, now I'm just stockpiling for that AT-AT, and I'll get there probably by end of this year, and so we're good there. But yeah, man, like it's just some of this stuff was getting out of hand. But anyways, that's the first time I became like this is a crazy price guy ever, was last summer. The rest of it I kind of tolerate, but I don't know. And plus they were kind of way off the mark with some of this stuff, and it showed. Oh, part of that was also the now legendary foosball table. I think that was around the same window too, where it's like, man, they're really disconnected from what's going on out there.
Yeah.
like nobody's gonna pay all this. Yeah.
The old like price cap on Lego was like, you'd see like $200-$300 sets as your big sets, and now it's 4, 5, 6 easy, 7, 8 for Star Wars, like all the time. And I get that that's a little bit much, but you also don't have to buy everything. Like that's the other thing. Like you can pick and choose, and that's makes it a little easier. But it's still like, I agree. Everything is a lot more expensive, but they're making really good expensive stuff other than some of the stuff. I think the Hogwarts train's worth $500. I don't know if you disagree, but I just do. I'm just
not a Harry Potter fan, so it was a non. You know what I mean?
Well, you skip that. If you're not a Harry Potter, just like I would skip Black Panther if Zavi.
It's not that I'm not a fan. I just haven't watched. I guess I should clarify. I just haven't really watched all of them.
I've been trying to convince him, but
I have too many. I have too many. I'm already. What it is I don't want to get into it because I know what's going to happen. So I'm like kind of purposefully not getting into it to spare my wallet, and it's whatever.
Yeah.
Then you'll be playing Hogwarts
anything else
Legacy.
On the Executor, Tyler? Any closing thoughts, or Ryan, if you had any more on this? I think it looks great. I love the price. At first, I'll be honest with you guys, I thought it kind of has the vignette look to it with the tile and all that stuff. So I was like, is this part of that series? I think I was just very confused right off the rip on this thing. The diorama I meant, but it's clearly not. But it gave me those vibes, kind of like the Death Star trench. It kind of gave me that vibe right off the bat.
I just can't wait for like 3 years from now when they finally do a prequel Midi-scale set, because that seems to be you got to wait 3. They bring in these new sublines of 18+ sets, and you got to wait 3 years.
Yeah,
helmet sets.
They're gonna do a Falcon, and then like an X-wing Midi-scale TIE fighter.
They tested against us old OT folk. Is that what you're saying?
It's not even they just don't do it. You could do a prequel, diorama set this year, but you won't. You just won't.
Sorry, guys.
See it in 2 more years. It'll be 2 more years before you get a prequel diorama set. That's when it's due. The first 3 years of helmet sets were all, I guess technically did the Dark Trooper and Mando, but non-prequel. Right. It's gonna be a while.
Tyler, Brent, any closing thoughts on this bad boy here? I think we all like it. I mean, I think it's pretty.
Oh yeah, I think it's sick. I'm happy for you, Sean. Excuse me, I'm happy for you, Sean, because it's another Return of the Jedi. You're getting all kinds of these sets this year.
I'm getting Jedi love.
The Jedi TIE bomber.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would have got it either way, but it's like, I love that they're putting the badge on stuff. It turns me on. What can I say? Jedi is the first one I saw. Everybody has their one movie that they're maybe biased towards, even if it's not the best one. But for me, I always ride for Jedi. So I'm old enough. I saw that one in the theater. So
even if it's on a poly bag, Sean's like, if it's got that stamp on it, I need it.
It's
but
funny
I'm not way with Empire.
It's funny you mentioned that. The X-Wing poly has it, right?
Does it? Okay. I think it does.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I got like 3 of those just because of that. Like I'm an idiot. What can I say? Tyler, your thoughts on this thing? Do you like it? Do you think it'll do well? Like, give me your analysis here.
I think it's fine, but I guess the question I'll bring up to you guys, and I guess anyone in the chat, I mean, if you had 3 options right now, you know, this for $70 in Midi-scale, $160 playset, say 5 figs, or $700 UCS in the scale of the old Star Destroyer one from 2019. Where would you guys put it at? If you guys had to make the decision right now today, which one would you have rather had on Lego.com, 2 nights ago?
Yes, let's get 1 for MIDI, 2 for Playscale, 3 for UCS. Well, all right, I'm already seeing I'm seeing 2 playset, 3, 4, 5. About 5 people already saying playset.
I just personally think it's a little awkward to do Midi-scale for this. I think they could have done it better, for Millennium Falcon right off the bat, because we say we have the bigger one. A lot of people have a Playscale one now since they've released like 6 in the past 10 years, or I guess 4 in the past 10 years. And then the last Midi-scale one was 2010, right, Ryan? 2010 for the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
So I think it would have been just better to, if they're gonna bring it back more, not just do like the Nebulon, but bring back like an actual purchase, where you can actually purchase them like regular. I think a Falcon would have been better now, and I think quite frankly this would have been better with a playset or a bigger version, since the last one was 2011.
Pretty gutted to see them just redo a Midi-scale Falcon.
Yeah,
honestly,
even after 10 years ago or 13 years.
Don't care. I'm so tired of like the same thing. And
that's what I was going to ask you guys, because there's a lot of new blood in here. I mean, like in general, are you kind of like F the new fans? Like we've been around, we don't want to see same old. Because Ryan, you seem fairly tolerant and understanding when.
Yeah, Ryan.
No, seriously, because I'm telling you, because I love to see what you're gonna think about. I think I know what you're gonna say, and I'm like, am I right? But like, for example, you weren't ultra heated or whatever about the UCS X-wing. You're like, it makes sense. I would have liked to have seen a thing, but you didn't go nuts on it. You know what I mean? Because you're like, it makes sense.
The X-wing is going to be really, really, really good. It's just going to be good. Like, there's no way around it. They aren't going to fuck it up because it's a X-wing.
Yeah.
It's
so you're at peace with it from that perspective, but you would have rather seen something else, obviously.
I would have rather seen a Slave one. I would have rather seen a Slave one last year. Like, the Slave one is the other one that I think they really have to do.
Yeah.
Like,
over a Imperial shuttle, Ryan? I mean, Slave 1's only 2015. You really think they gotta?
I don't put too much stock in the years thing. I obviously would love an Imperial shuttle, but I think a Slave 1 is more important for them to do because of the Book of Boba Fett and Boba Fett's survival. A lot more relevant
for sales for their purposes.
Yeah, it would sell more for sure, but also like just it's what I want. I would love an updated shuttle too, but Slave 1 is like, I think what most people are looking for right now.
Do you really think they could do it better?
The recency bias, you mean, Ryan?
It doesn't matter if they do it better. They could re-release. I think they could re-release the exact same model. I would be perfectly I don't even want a new one for me. I just think they need to make a new one.
Okay.
I just think they need to make a new one. It's the one. I thought, I was like sure it was going to come out like the last couple of years, and it just didn't.
Welcome, David, Solid Brick Studios. Good to see you here, bud. Let's see, Django Slave 1. That really
never gonna happen. Every time I bring up the Slave 1, at least someone says that. I'm like, come on, guys. They won't even make a playset. They won't even recolor the playset. Like, it's not happening.
All they had to do. We could have had a $40 one.
It's another thing I was like so sure of when they did that recolor test at the end of 2021. I was like, fuck, here we go. It's gonna happen. They're gonna do the common sense thing, and then they didn't. Because that's not,
and they're still doing that this year, right? They're doing that with that Technic Bugatti, right? They're turning from yellow to blue.
Is that? I don't pay enough attention.
Brick Clicker said it in his video, so I'm pretty sure.
So that's must be true. But it probably will be true.
We got to get him. By the way, Brent, we got to get Brick Clicker out here. I want you to do your impression of him right in front of him. Like,
dude, we were on a.
Hey guys,
do it. I don't know how good of friends him and Falcon are, but you should do one with both of them.
Oh yeah,
that'd be good.
Oh, I'm down. No, they're buds, right? I think they said they're cool.
I'm sure they are, but
Ryan, I don't know if you saw or what, how much of our stuff you're able to see, but like we've got Falcon now as like a regular correspondent on here now.
I know, I see all popping.
Yeah, he's everything. Sure, yeah. But
the Falcon symbol.
So when shit really goes down, it's funny, man. Like in our DMs, he actually made me a Falcon signal, like a bat signal.
Yeah,
he's like if you're feeling like you need me, flash the Falcon signal. And like a couple times when shit was really popping off and there was like a heavy Ruber day, I'm like, you got to come in for at least 10 minutes on this one. So anyway, shout out to Falcon. I don't know. Like everybody has their source, and I know there's a million different ones out there, but I don't know. Early on, I just followed his. I saw all you guys did, so I thought he's pretty reliable. So far, he's
he's good.
He's good.
I was gonna ask what y'all would want to see from the. So I did my whole video. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I assume it's a little bit much to assume, but yeah, you guys watched the video where I talked about the 3 years of UCS sets?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sean definitely did because he didn't kill it, or maybe you watched the other one. But
well, I mean, I'm curious to hear what you're going to say.
What do you want to see for 3 years? Like we have the X-wing that's happening.
Yeah.
What's second half of this year? What do you think?
You know what I want to see. Well, I hope you guys.
Are you still sitting on Ewok?
Dude, even if are we talking about without knowing anything? Is that what you're saying? Because we're going to get into what
know it's $650.
Yeah,
and there's a chance. There's always a chance, but yeah.
Well, so Falcon, neither Falcon, I don't think Tyler or Ryan, none of you have killed my dream. In fact, Ryan, you probably put gas on my dream of this Endor bunker set with
if you've
ATSTs flying around and Ewoks, and I did watch it, but everybody
heard me enough over the last year saying an Ewok Village is also like the next Master Builder series set, almost for sure. But it's like I don't think
it won't be 650, right? So we're talking about. So okay, to answer your question, if at that price point that's out, even though our friend Falcon kind of told us right here on a couple of brickheads that it ain't happening, but Jabba Sail Barge, of course, I would love to be the $650.
I still think it's a 10% chance. I really do. I think they're. I don't know. It just makes perfect sense. I really have a strong feeling they have that backlogged even before that survey.
We're going to start this here. We're jumping into all kinds of stuff. I should have flashed this earlier, but guys, if you're just joining us for the first time, an hour in, this is the state of Lego Star Wars. We're going to talk about things that we've been doing it the whole time, sure, but here we go. We talked about March 1st and current stuff. Now we're going to start talking future stuff, how we feel about certain things. I have questions for you guys about future UCS sets, the helmets in general. David from Solid Bricks dropped a interesting kind of bomb today that I don't know if everybody's talking about yet, but I want to bring this up to you guys, and then several other topics within Lego Star Wars. So we'll kick this off. Continue the convo. Yeah.
So I think I agree with Ryan. I think it's going to be a Death Star 2. They've only done it once. It's been a really long time. It would tie
AT-AT style where you can play with it and it closes off.
I think it's going to be paneled. Okay, this is kind of a thought I had. It's not going to have as many rooms as the play scale, but if they want to do it like Millennium Falcon style, and you could pull off a couple panels, maybe there's a couple rooms, but it's not going to be like literally 360 degrees of rooms. They might do like a Falcon deal where there's like 2 rooms, but
so here's the deal with the Death Star. It's fucking heavy and unwieldy. You can't go too crazy with it because you've reached the physical limit of what your like fans can handle. Like I can barely pick up the Death Star 2. You have to like hold it at the base, then you have to like wrap your arm around it. It's a bit ridiculous to try and pick up. And so if you add more weight to that by adding in more stuff on the inside, because it's generally a really hollow set, but if you add more stuff in, now it's like top heavy and it's already kind of top heavy. Like you have problems with stability, and they're obviously really conscious of that. That's why I'm like wary of like imagining anything would like even touch like a Death Star interior. But yeah, they could do a couple of rooms, I guess, and get away with it. I also just don't see it as a necessity myself. Like I wouldn't care if they didn't at all.
What about split down the middle? What about if they do half panel, half? Yeah. So like the panel side, say they have more pieces on the inside to kind of offset the fact that the other side has.
How bad do you want it to look? It's a display set, not a play set.
No, I know, but Ryan, what if you had 2 ways to display it? You could have it displayed like Death Star 2 that you guys had that's already out.
With the laser sticking out of the panel side.
Laser sticking out, and then you do a swivel, and then you have a removed panel, or maybe it's dollhouse style. I mean, I know it's blasphemy. But
just like
a half
Pyramid of Giza.
Exactly. Like the pyramid.
You want to piss people off, you do that.
No. But for the psychos,
if you buy 2 of them, you can
make for the psychos, they could buy 2 and close it off. I like this idea.
That's what I was running with. I mean, that's my prediction. Because I mean, my prediction for the
that's your final. Are you locking it in?
It's 50-50, 1 and 2 with 16 minifigs.
I think
that's my prediction.
I think it'll be Falcon style. They'll have like 2 or 3 rooms maybe where you can put
Okay.
figs, but
Then Ryan's going just strictly Death Star 2.
I would want it to be just like 2005, but
No figs too, or would you want
I
5
don't want
figs in there?
actually they have to do figs because all the UCS sites get figs now.
yeah, it's gotta.
So
it's
at least
like,
2. I mean, probably
what
just
do
2.
you, 2. What are you doing at Death Star? Like Darth Vader and Palpatine.
Or Tarkin.
Maintenance guys,
Tarkin would be good.
Yeah.
Would be
Wait,
very...
it can't be Tarkin with the Death
That's
Star.
what I'm
Gonk.
saying. Yeah, Death Star 2.
Or a
Yeah,
gonk,
right.
you know, in
Yeah.
there. He's like,
Oh, it can be. They don't care about accuracy of.
Well, hey,
Exactly.
you are right. You are right.
No, but I Darth Vader and Palpatine.
Yeah. Easy.
all right, so Tyler, you're on the record. That is your we're in Vegas right now. We're having a good time, having some beers, right? We're at the sports book, but they take Lego Star Wars bets.
Yeah.
How much are you
Crazy.
putting on your debt? Well, I'm making things
What
up.
kind of odds
Well,
are
I
you
know.
offering?
I mean, I'll put the value.
Ryan,
of it.
let's make it crazy. All right, fine. Whatever. The odds are all the same. We could. All right, give us your final 3. It could be, and then we'll apply odds.
Okay,
right.
so you want my final 3 for 2023?
Yeah, and then we'll make odds, Ryan. That's fair.
So
I like
I've
this.
got an entire list. I mean, so yeah,
Well,
Ryan's video
let's narrow
inspired.
it down to
Death
3
Star
for
2,
Tyler.
Jabba's sail barge, third set. What's a third set? I think those are the only 2 that I really.
Okay,
see.
so we got 2. Endor is out, right? All right, sad.
I mean,
At
I have a
650.
ghost. I mean, ghost possibility. What do you think?
Been hearing. I think we're getting a ghost play
Depends on what
scale.
scale. Yeah, I don't think.
I think they would go T6 shuttle playset, right, for that 60 or
Yeah.
100, and then possibly
Here's
ghost big.
here's the go. If the ghost is in Ahsoka, it could be a $650 UCS set only because the Razor Crest exists as $650
Exactly.
UCS set.
Yep.
Ahsoka will be similar popularity. I doubt it touches like Mando as far as like the.
I don't know, Ryan.
Baby Yoda's fucking popular. Mando is.
I mean,
Like,
what if Baby
They
Yoda-
really
Yeah.
leaned into him on episode 1. They did like pointless things with him on episode 1. I'm sure you guys saw
Yeah.
that. They really like
Like the new
ham
episode,
fisted
like,
him
Baby
into
Yoda,
episode
I
1.
think, took Mando's popularity above anything else they're gonna do on Disney
Yeah.
Plus for a decade. Like Ahsoka might be 9/10 of that. I'm just saying it won't be as popular.
Yeah,
But anyway,
that's fair.
if the ghost is going to be heavily featured in Ahsoka, I could see them doing a ghost. But like, I don't have that foresight for sure right now. So like,
Have they
I
ever
wouldn't
done a-
make that guess just based on the idea that we don't know?
I mean,
All right.
Hera's in Ahsoka confirmed. I mean, that was in
Yeah,
so Hera-
yeah. Of course,
yeah.
it's going to have Rebels tie-ins. Thrawn's going to show up at some point, and that's the most.
But you're just not
exciting thing to me.
not sure. Or I mean, so Ryan, I guess I mean for anyone here, I mean, I guess really quickly, I mean, do you think marketing for Ahsoka? Do you think they would hide stuff like Thrawn, the Ghost, where then say in Lego's end, we can't really be getting any of that spoiler, stuff like Thrawn, Ghost until like say second half of 2024.
If I saw an Ahsoka trailer today and it had the ghost in it, I would hammer that $650 set being the ghost.
Well, I mean, there's that leaked trailer, but
Hammer what in a good way or a bad way, Ryan?
That
it's happening?
When I say,
Sorry.
I guess I'm using it kind of wrong for betting. I would bet the house.
You'd bet the house, and you think
It
it
would increase the
One
odds
thing you guys gotta
dramatically.
think about though, like, but for the normies, would see. I feel like
just like
Ghost
the
is.
Razor Crest came from nothing.
I don't think
Razor
so.
Crest
I
was
feel like
nothing 3
I
years
feel
ago.
like Ghost in the community is a big thing because like it's
but
worth
what I'm saying is,
$1,000 now.
just
And
like how the Razor Crest was nothing, it's now a big thing, and it's a $650 set. The Ghost
but it
has a
took 3 years.
pre-existing.
Hold on, but Ryan, it took 3 years to marinate to get to that point. Ghost
well,
would
it
be
took
new
them
for a
3
lot of.
years to design
I mean,
it and release
the
it,
Ghost
but-
has had.
No, but I mean for it to
Day
get
one,
into
it
our
was.
to etch itself in our minds as like an important vehicle. It was probably 3 years from when we first saw it or whatever, roughly. So
I
they
was
made it.
already like
Yes.
3 episodes in, but
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
that's not-
okay,
it's
fine,
double,
but-
double the normies, Sean.
I'm
I mean, there's
talking-
normies from back then and now.
here you
Yeah,
go,
like
Sean.
I'm just saying-
Here's the case.
Ryan's body was ready, but not everybody's body was ready for a $650
If the
Razor
if
Crest.
the Ghost is in Ahsoka, it can be the $650 set this year, or if it's heavily featured, I should say. And you assume Disney gives Lego some assurances there, right?
I do. I
And-
always
and
do.
So you have the Ghost in the show, and it's like, yeah, all of the people that have been asking for a Ghost for 5 years now get to buy a Ghost for $650.
Yeah.
Which is cheaper, right, than a new in box.
It is cheaper.
Yeah.
It is cheaper. And then
All right, you're starting to make
And
sense,
then-
Ryan. I'm not going to Vegas with you
because the
anymore.
set doesn't only sell for the first day, over the next 2 years as the Ahsoka show, goes on,
Yeah,
the set
yeah.
keeps selling. Keep selling.
Do we
Because
do we
that
not
ship keeps
care?
showing up.
All right, so one other, people look for pro tips and things like that. Let's go back to Sail Barge for a second here, right? We are on the 40th, right? It'd be a hell of a year to do it. They seem to care about. I've seen more 40th badge. I've seen as many, I should say, Return of the Jedi badges as I've seen for what was the last significant one they did?
Empire.
Yeah. I've seen as much or more of those. Like, who are we to think they're not going to just go all the way with it? I feel like a Sail Barge next year would be a little bit weird. Not unprecedented.
I disagree with the idea that something cool has to come out on the anniversary or like just
sure.
I think I phrased that badly. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. There's the
not
track
everything
record.
comes out.
You
on the
famously have said
it's
their track records mean
like the UCS AT-AT came out the year after. It doesn't matter.
True.
But it does.
True.
But it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Sail Barge. I'd be cool with a Ghost, but I don't know. I
think Ghost is a long shot. So Ryan, here we go. Whatever amount of money means something to you. All right, guys. Whatever amount of money means something to you. We don't say like only $1,000. Let's just do $1,000.
$2 million. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Hey, wait till you have to fill that house, sir. It's gonna be.
I already bought all. I bought everything.
Oh, you're already done. All right. I'm just saying, like, that's what people don't tell you about the house. Like, you buy the house, you get the house, everything's good. Then you got to fill the house. It's all.
No, I spent a little bit of money. Yeah.
All right.
We bought stuff. We're good now. It's mostly here.
Let's get on normie level here, whatever you want to call it. You got $1,000. All right. We're not all, buying houses and decking them out on day one. All right. $1,000. We're in Vegas, hanging out, having a good time. Let's assign some odds. Longest shot of everything we've talked about is what? What's the longest shot, Ryan? And assign an odd to it.
Right now it'd be the Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost. We'll call that. We're going to go 10 to 1 on that one. What do you want to call it?
I was going to say 10 to 1, 12 to 1, whatever. But yeah.
All right. So 10 to 1. Let's keep it round and even. 10 to 1.
But you're going to get some action on that because you're going to have the people betting
Ahsoka,
on it because they think maybe this thing happens and then that happens. So it's your long shot, but it's not.
Chad, we want to hear you weigh in of everything we've talked about.
You gotta do a poll on
you
can do a poll.
Let's do a poll for what, Death Star Barge or Ghost?
And then other, I suppose, always like
there you
go.
Yeah, we'll do another.
Brent, can you get that up?
I don't think I can from
you have to do it on youtube.com.
I'll do it on my phone. Keep talking, Ryan. Let's talk through odds, Ryan, and I'll get this up. Go ahead.
Sail Barge,
what do we think?
Okay. The Sail Barge has the caveat because there's the leaked side of it. Like the Rivendell set leaked, right? And then it released like a month later. And obviously not all of these sets are releasing a month later that we saw. But like this one leaked. This is a real thing that is definitely done. Not to say that they definitely don't have a, Death Star prototype kicking around, because there's no way they don't. Who wouldn't build that for fun in their spare time? But I almost feel like you have to make your Sail Barge odds higher just based on the fact that there's a leaked picture, even though I wouldn't make them higher. I don't know.
Well, but the leaks, in fairness, right? It did say 23-24, right? Or was
it could be either for sure. Yeah. But I'm saying like we already had one of those sets that were leaked in that imagery release. So it's not like impossible that set comes out in 6 months from now.
So that's my little 10%. I mean, I do agree. I mean, I think there's a possibility that Sail Barge is pushed up in production, just to meet that 40-year anniversary. I think it just makes sense. I mean, and we do have that leaked picture. Yeah. I don't think that's a 5,500 piece Sail Barge.
That picture of that Sail Barge is not a $650 Sail Barge.
That's like a 240 May 4th.
Yeah, sure.
Barge.
Yeah.
That could just be the main body. I've heard the argument that's the main body. You could have the skiff. You could have, you know what I mean? Like, there's all
the right way to do it, though. If they have a skiff and Sarlacc, I think that'd be perfect.
Have a Sarlacc.
That's right, and a Sarlacc too. Yeah.
I'd put like 4 to 1 odds, 5 to 1 on a Sail Barge. It's kind of hard because it's like in basketball or whatever. It's like there's 2 options, but in Lego it's like a billion.
Which, by the way, now that we're past midnight, I'm going to give a big congratulations to Tyler for his 10th birthday on YouTube.
Yeah.
For his 10-year.
What a celebration for Tyler.
Everybody congratulate Tyler in the chat real quick. Go wild.
Tyler, it's got to be super cool. Not just that, but then it's extra special. You got the complimentary,
I mean, the shuttle
your dreams.
Deal, yeah. But Ryan can relate, man.
For tomorrow?
We've been doing it. What was that, Ryan?
You got a bouncy house for tomorrow for your party?
Yeah, that'd be sick, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself a pie though, probably, man. I'll get
10
myself
years,
a
damn.
lemon meringue pie, man.
I can't believe you've been around 10 years. That's really kind of crazy.
I know. Yeah.
All right, guys. Early stats. Here we go. Fall UCS. Early stats. Here we go. Sail barge #1. Death Star 2 #2. Up. Death Star 2 is taking the lead.
Yeah.
All right, we'll check in a little bit, but early, it's a neck and neck between Death Star 2 and Sail barge.
Everybody
Ghost,
get your votes in.
Other is representing well. Others in third ahead of Ghost is the
field. Oh, we should have said the field. What are we doing? We're terrible.
I know. Well, whatever. It's out there. It's fine.
I know.
Well, what I was going to say to you, Ryan, another betting term is like a pick 'em between. I really do feel.
That's a good. But if it was the sail barge and the Death Star, and those were the two options, and we knew it was going to be one of those two, it would have to be a pick 'em.
Right.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's all answer the question. $1,000. Not going to kill us either way, but it'd be fun to win 5-1. What are you putting it on, Tyler? We're in Vegas. You're placing the
1,000. Only one option. I can't split it up.
No,
yeah, just one.
No hedging. No hedging.
Yeah.
No hedging.
No parlays.
No parlay.
Yeah, Death Star 2, then sail barge in the next year. Yeah.
You do a trifecta? Yeah, no.
I'm gonna be that sail barge.
It's close. It's so close. It's neck and neck. It's 36%.
My only
Death Star,
doubt on sail
35%.
barge is our friend the Falcon on air, so I'm not giving anything away. He's really bleeding that it's not this year, and it's really upsetting. So
You tricked me.
That bit of information aside,
he has tricked me before. He says he does it for my benefit. I don't appreciate it, Falcon. He likes to keep me because I tell him I want the juice, and then I love being surprised. I'm like the ultimate contradiction. It's like
that bit of information aside, I would I would want to put my $1,000 on a Death Star, but I cannot ignore the leak. I just can't, and I would have to put my $1,000 on a sail barge.
And you say it has nothing to do with the 40th. Does the 40th weigh in on you a little bit? Not even a smidge.
40th sets.
Yeah, no.
You're right.
Sorry.
Yeah. It is the two.
I don't think it would. They're both just original trilogy, which is pretty good odds no matter what. But yeah, I would if I was making a business decision, I'd choose a sail barge. If I was betting with my heart, like if I was betting on my sports team, I'd
with
bet on
what you
Death
want.
Star.
Yeah.
If I was,
you don't bet on the Patriots, do you? By the way,
I've never done sports betting because it's not legal in Florida. But I would have made a lot of money over the last few, before the last few years.
Well, you have friends everywhere that can do that for you, but I'm glad you don't. And by the way, as a Dolphins fan, I've never betted on the Dolphins because it would end in misery. So I'm glad I don't do it either. But
yeah.
I talk myself into
what you
dumb
do.
ideas.
This is what my dad does. He bets against his team that he wants to
So
win.
he wins either way.
I would never do that. No, I wouldn't do that. That's low tier behavior. Every once in a while I like with like people I play basketball with, I'll bet like 10 or $20 on like a game or something just for fun. But outside of that, nah.
Yeah. More of a bet on something you have control of, like a pickup game of basketball. Like I don't mind betting on golf.
Brent, where are you putting your $1,000?
I want to go Death Star, but to your point, like there's been no leaks of a Death Star, and there's been leaks of a sail barge. And
I think Ryan's the sole leaker of Death Star too. Ryan, is anyone else riding for that?
It's just a theory.
Well, whatever. But I mean, is anyone else in the community riding for that besides you? I mean, have you heard any root? All right, he hears things. He can't say.
I could ask, but I don't know.
Well, I got one question then for everyone about a Death Star, and
I'll go to the poll while you're doing that. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, so all right, so it's what 5,300 parts, $650. I know by now, again, price per piece is not everything. I think we all know that. But what I asked you guys and say, Ryan, what would be the reasoning behind that, say, kind of awkward price point? If it is a Death Star 2 with, say, only 2 minifigures, of course, they can't be going super big, as we know, very heavy.
What was the last one? Sorry, guys. Let's set can we set the table real quick? Ryan, Tyler, Brent.
2005 Death Star?
No. The most recent Death Star, what was the price and what was the pieces on that one?
2016.
I mean, the
2016
was $500.
Yeah.
$500.
And I got it right behind me.
So with current Lego inflation, we're not far off from that, right? That's...
Yeah, but you also got to think about it was the
5 to 650 is a big jump.
It was like the play set style.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The 2016 one had 20 figs. So what I'm getting at, if it's Death Star 2 and only 2 figures, they can't go much bigger scale wise naturally because too heavy, too awkward. Where's that difference in 650 for 5,300 pieces going to come in?
Probably the laser, man. The laser is going to be.
Yeah. It's a
Well,
really
Ryan?
long laser.
No, what they're gonna do for the laser is it's gonna literally be like, instead of like the barrel pieces, it's just gonna be a bunch of like the actual studs. So it's gonna be like
Wasn't
300 studs.
Was that not what the original Death Star 2 one is, Ryan?
I thought it was
All
the
studs?
barrel
It's the
pieces.
cute. It's like it's
the
like
cones,
can,
right?
It's like can pieces. That's the best way.
Yeah, like the
Okay,
little
okay.
barrel, the 1x1 barrels.
All right, guys, we're checking the poll here.
36%.
All right, it's been on for a while. There's a pretty good amount of votes here. I think it's enough to kind
Where's
of
your
make
money,
a call.
Sean?
Well, I'm looking at the poll, so I want to ask you guys where your money is. Don't cheat. Well, which one do you think's first? Give me first, second, third, fourth.
I'm looking at it.
All right.
Yeah, I'm already looking. I've been looking.
All right.
I have not looked at it. I mean, I'm gonna go Death Star.
Yeah,
I think people are voting Death Star. Is that
36,
So
36%.
Here it is in order. Death Star 36, Sail Barge 33, Ghost. Other 19, Ghost 13. So Ghost is the dog here. Ghost is the underdog.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
I'm curious for those of you in the chat that voted Field or other. Should have
Yeah,
put
what do you
Field.
think
Right,
it's
Ryan.
gonna be?
I'm a dumb. I should have put Field.
Right.
What else could it possibly be? Ryan, you're asking me my mighty 1,000 doll hairs. Man, to separate the heart from the brain.
Put it on the Ghost to win 10,000.
I know. Yeah.
Big payout. Big
Why?
payout.
Why bet a sail barge to win 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Geez, when pressed. Let me think. No, I think I do. This Death Star thing is making sense, but I disagree with you that it's going to be so you're saying it's going to be a Death Star, but it's going to be like an Eiffel Tower only, meaning there's no real playability. Like it's going to be like the previous
As
Death
it
Star.
should be, yes.
Yeah.
I don't
As
like
God
that.
intended.
That's what I always say. That's why I don't build mocks, by the way. I think we want them
Sure,
as
yeah,
the way
exactly, yeah.
God intended, Lego intended. I'm going sail barge. Fuck it. We'll have a good
Sail
time either
barge.
way. I've had many beers. Like we're in Vegas having a good time. I'm going sail barge. I just think the 40th tie-in, you mentioned it. We've seen imagery. It makes sense. Everybody talks about how like Bricklink has visibility with Lego has visibility with Bricklink.
All right.
They're seeing how my one negative though, that's like the devil on my shoulder or whatever is, are we confirming we're going to get this Jabba diorama? Because that hurts me on this bet. The Jabba diorama for 100, whatever, him on the throne. Is that
they reused the mold? I mean, Lego's done. I mean, they did that.
No,
back
that
in
would
2012 and
that would make the odds like 2-1 instead of 3-1 because now you have a
really all right.
figure.
Yeah, Trump. They just reused the mold.
They
Yeah,
like
they'd wanna
making
use
you
it
rebuy
twice,
something within 3 months. That's kind of a jerk.
They did it with
move.
the Palace and Sail Barge 10
Yeah.
years ago. I mean, within 6
All
months.
right,
of each
all
other.
right,
The,
all right. See, this is helpful.
Now hear
I'm
me
still
out.
going sail barge. I'm riding Jedi till I die. We're going.
One
with
last thing on the 2023 topic. If I came to you as like a on the low bookie, and I'm like, hey, I got a bet for you. You get those $20,000. You get that $1,000 out of the casino.
Yeah.
And I got you a 25-1 odds on a 20th anniversary Clone Wars Venator. Do you take 25-1 on that
For 2023?
I want to really get into this.
Makes it more possible than anything to me.
The normie factor is not there for that, even less so than the Ghost. I'm sorry, guys. The normie factor matters on this stuff. It really does.
It does, but you got to think about all the OG prequel fans that are like our age now, and they all have we all have jobs and stuff now. It's coming, Sean. It's coming. I'm just telling you.
They have the 650 though, like not us super fans and like you guys.
Hey, save up for it, man. I mean, have your
I get it.
Birthday money, take a little
All
Christmas money, you got it. You know, for all
right. Let's jump into this.
Exactly. If you're like,
all right, let's move on to this. It's time. Let's get it going.
We're gonna skip over 24 and 25.
Yeah, I got my list for 4 and 5. I mean, if we're going a little bit more,
we don't need to. Well, this ties in. Ryan, go to the bathroom. We're gonna need you to dig in. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. I'm gonna give my rationale. You guys give yours. Go ahead. Okay. Give your sets there, Tyler. Go ahead.
For 4 and 5.
Sure.
For 24.
Just a quick thing. Like I made that video the other day. Brent's probably so really quickly. I mean, my final list. I mean, I've got Sail Barge 2023 fall, UCS B Wing 2024 May, then I take that back. Never mind. I've actually got, as of 3 days ago, the Death Star 1 or 2 for this fall. B-wing next May. Sail barge next fall. Vader's TIE Advanced for 2025 May, and then a Venator for 2025 fall.
Dude, a Vader.
And where are we going to reestablish the Venator? Is this going to be in Ahsoka?
It
needs to be reestablished in current media. Go ahead.
Revenge of the Sith, 20th anniversary, 2025.
All right, well that's fine too.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for.
Is there that many people riding for the B-wing, huh? Over everything else.
Well,
I think again, for the remake sake of, new fans need it. B-wing, if they're doing it for the X-wing, I think a B-wing.
It's not even in the same zip code as the X-wing though. B-wing in terms of people caring about it, right? Is that?
Dude, the old B-wing's 550, 600 sealed.
My favorite pick out of everything you said is the TIE Advance, because I feel like that could go right in that 225 slot.
Well, and I think for 2025, because instead of giving us 2 direct prequel sets, May and fall, I think Vader's TIE Advance is something where you can kind of look. It ties into Anakin, ties into Vader. You can slap that Revenge of the Sith logo on there, and no one would. Sure, it's still not accurate, but it still makes relative sense. And you give us a remake. It's been, I think that one was 2006, I believe, the last Vader's TIE Advanced UCS, and I think that's my prediction for 2025 May 4th.
Yeah,
I hate it.
I love that. You don't love that pick though, Ryan, at 225. It seems like they're.
I predict.
Like you said,
it was like Darth Vader's tie is, like I said, I predicted for last year. Obviously, it didn't happen because predictions for anything are fucking impossible with Lego Star Wars because there's so many different things they can do for any given set. Yeah. But
that's why kids, you shouldn't gamble. We just want to kind of reiterate that. But go ahead.
Unless you're gonna bet on Tom Brady, and then you probably make out pretty well. But yeah, the yeah, it'd be really good, but I don't want it in 2025. It's not the year now. It's too late. Last year was the year. What?
Ryan, what do you think about B-wing? I was saying I don't think that many. Did that many people care about a B-wing?
I think next May 4th. Bring it back for the new fans, like the
I
X-wing.
think the B-wing was the biggest UCS flop.
Ryan, do you remember this? It was 50% off the next May 4th.
Yeah, no, I think that's why I'm saying I think it's the biggest flop. I got it for half price the year after.
So you think Lego remembers that, and they're not going to think there's going to be any difference 10 years later?
I don't necessarily. They don't think there's going to be a difference. There would be. It would probably do better, but I just. You can't remake everything forever. Do something fresh. It's okay.
Look, I'm on that boat, Ryan, but I'm just following Lego's trends.
I'm just.
But Ryan says they do things. Ryan, one thing I've noticed, I've picked up on from watching your stuff is. They'll do stuff for like 2 or 3 year stretches almost, right? And then they'll break the cadence a little bit. And we talked about how, okay, so let's go with May the 4th, right? So it was this 2 years ago. R2D2 was $199. Land Speeder with the price bump is $229. That might as well be the $200 set, right?
Yeah.
This year we're getting the X-Wing in that same decently priced slot, I guess we'll call it. Smaller vehicle, whatever you want to call it. Next year, that's why I'm saying, Tyler, that's why I'm like, okay, so if I'm picking up on trends, TIE Advanced would be good there, something like that. But I don't know. Right when you think you know the answer, they change the question. So it's hard to predict with that kind of stuff. That's my assessment. And again, watching and learning from you guys because I'm new to it. But I don't know, Brent, what do you think? And then we're going to get into the burning question. Of why so few prequel UCS sets. But go ahead.
For 2020 for the May 4th set next year, I think I like the idea of a Slave 1. I don't hate the B-wing idea, but I do like the idea of a Slave 1. Personally, I'm just selfish.
You're talking about for fall, right? Yeah. Or you saying May the 4th?
No, I'm just skipping over to 24 because I'm already all in for I think Death Star 2 this year for the fall. Okay. But I think I go Slave 1 out of pure selfishness because I don't have the first UCS Slave 1, so I just want a UCS Slave 1. Like Ryan said, it could be literally the exact same thing, and I'd be pumped. And then I think if not Sail Barge this year, Sail Barge could work out next year. But I think where it gets interesting is 2025 because I think a Venator is possible, very possible for the big set in the fall, but for the May 4th set. I mean, that'll be the year, right, guys? I mean, that'll be the first time a May 4th set's been a prequel set. So Ryan's angle was interesting if it was like a 2-pack of the Jedi Interceptors, because I mean that's iconic. It's the very first scene of Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
I mean we've gotten a couple of them in play sets over the years, so I think that would be sick, especially if they were on stands. Like you have 2 stands that can hold them up.
Of course they're coming on stands.
Look at this. Robo's Motor World has a great take here. And I like this stuff, right? There's this infighting between the prequels and the OT, because clearly sequels aren't getting shit for a few years. I think
they didn't earn it at all.
No, I know, but I think all of us have said probably in 10 years or whatever it is, 15 years, just like it happened to prequel fans. They'll have their day in the sun where Kylo's their Anakin or whatever you want to call it. You know,
I mean, Kylo's already cool though.
Kylo's
Kylo's cool. All right, fine. What is it? Rey? What is it? Finn? Whatever. The people that are disliked
Rey's
now.
Gonna be the new Leia?
I don't think anyone's coming around on who's the what's her name?
Rose Tico?
Rose, yeah, no one's coming around on Rose.
not even as a meme. It's over. All right.
Jar Jar was fine as a meme, right? But Rose is not happening.
Yeah. All right. For real, I want a detailed Lars Homestead. It would span every year, a Star Wars, and it's iconic to fans and normies. I think that'd be interesting. But to me, I'm already picturing the Mos Eisley Cantina-ish sort of thing where it's spread out.
Well, the toughest part about the Lars Homestead is it's literally built down into the ground. So it's
right.
How?
You need
like
those,
how?
Yeah. You need a lot of those base plates too, right? Like the sand. Yeah. I don't know.
And again, you do that over.
I like it in my head, and then I start seeing it, and I'm like, I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is one of the things. So we did a poll pre-show of what people wanted us to talk about, and one of the biggest things they wanted us to talk about was why few prequel UCS sets. It comes up a lot, hearing and talking to all you guys constantly. Do you think this is going to change as those who grew up in that generation are getting more? Is it income based? Do they think it's just not going to sell? We'll kick it off with Brent. Why do you think there's so few prequel sets? It's not because they don't. There's not some like inexplicable bias that they're like they just don't like it. It's not that, because purely it's a for profit. Ryan's making eyes up there. We'll see what
you can't not.
All right. We'll hear it all out. Brent, why do you think they're not making prequel sets? Is it because they just are mean people and don't like it, or are they like money more? Like, what is it?
I don't know.
Dumb. We can say they're dumb. Brian's famous.
Even when they make a prequel UCS set, they think it's an original trilogy one. So I don't know, man. It's tough.
It's hard. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
It's hard to make the look. It's hard to make the argument that they aren't meanie heads who don't just have a predisposed dislike of the prequel trilogy.
All right, lay it on.
What they did with the gunship.
Here we go.
You can't not look at that and have that feeling. You just can't. They might just not like the movies. They might. I don't know them. I never. It's pure
Ryan, do you feel like it's the personnel?
Based on how the gunship was
taken shots and you've made parodies of some of the personnel there. Do you think they're just
shout out to
hold on? Do you think they're old heads? Is that what it is? Or there's a bunch of me's in the office and they're like, I don't
a bunch of Sean's.
Well, I mean, I'm serious, because it can't be both ways. Because let me tell you my general beef with this whole debate. On one hand, it's they're mean jerks, and on the other hand, there's this greedy corporation. And I'm going to tell you, in this case, both can't be true. Because if they were the greedy corporation, they're going to put on the shelves whatever sells, and it doesn't matter whether you have a love, whether the team that builds them has a love for prequels or sequels. They're going to want the almighty dollar. That's my position on this. And for me, right here, right now, I feel like the OT is more reliable, whatever you want to call it. And that's the only reason why. I don't think it's because they like greatly dislike the prequels or the prequel fans and they're trying to be dickheads. I don't see how that's possible. But if you can convince me, I'm all ears.
I mean, I think this is what I've
besides the sloppiness, Ryan, which you've well documented, the sloppiness. I appreciate what happened with the gunship and all that stuff for sure.
Well, the biggest thing with the gunship is like, okay, and I've been back into Lego for the last like 4 years. I've had a really long dark age, but from what I can see, especially with like Ryan's big movement with the 501st Battle Pack, it's because people wanted those clones. The clone pack sold out because there were regular P1 clones. People want to build up that army. But then when you put a clone in a gunship, that's literally just incorrect. Like I know, like like a figure shouldn't be the end all be all for a giant set.
And we're
But
not here to say
it's
that. I think that
gonna
was a
have
big
some effect.
mistake. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but my
People who say that doesn't matter, I'm not listening to them. I think it definitely matters. They
It
It
fucked
doesn't
that up.
matter to you, and that's where you don't understand.
No. It's not.
No,
no,
like, not you specifically, but to
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
like
'Cause I'm
the
saying
people saying that because they're idiots. But
Yeah, I just want to be clear. Me, Sean, specifically, I had great empathy for you guys because I was like, that is fucked up.
yeah.
No,
The thing is, though, it's like, okay,
I'm not
look
the-
at the
hold on. I'm not the dismisser guy, by the way. I'm not. I'm like, that is bullshit. And Ryan, I love how you ride for this stuff because that's how you can evoke change. Go ahead, Brent.
I was just gonna, like, I mean, okay, the Luke's land speeder. You have a beautiful exclusive C-3PO. It's never been in any other set, and then we don't even get that many prequel UCS sets. And when we do get one, we get a clone that is inaccurate, and they put it in a $15. That was just the icing on the cake when they just threw it in a.
So you think
$15
they're
pack.
meanie boys? Are you on meanie boy squad?
Okay, are they doing it on purpose, or maybe they just don't care as much as the thing?
Yeah, no,
Oh
like,
no, they did it on
yeah.
purpose. They put it.
Yeah,
The guy who
100%.
made the advent calendar is also the guy who made the
Oh,
gunship.
that's
and he put
another
it in the
thing
advent
too.
calendar.
Fucking
The
advent
guy was
calendar.
just being an ad. When
Wait,
you
hold on. All right, so let's recap.
I forgot it was in the
Listen, I
fucking
could be
advent calendar.
hey guys, right here on a couple of brickheads. Please like and sub. I can be. Am I getting better? I can
Yeah.
be swayed. I can be swayed, guys. So if I'm hearing you correctly, this yellow trooper that's close. What was the term, Ryan? What did they famously say? It doesn't matter
Clone
that
pilot.
much.
Yeah, it's a
it
clone
doubles
pilot,
as a
John.
clone
A
pilot.
clone commander that
All right,
doubles.
whatever it
as a
was. It was a
pilot.
bullshit thing. This boy has been in 3 sets now. Am I hearing you right, or 2?
all within
Three.
literally fucking 12 months, right?
It is 3.
Yeah.
And you
Advent-
look at every other
Ugh.
clone trooper they've released in the past 3 years, I believe, and they've all come in 1.
Yeah.
All of them.
All right.
I'm except for Hunter from the Bad Batch who ends
New-
up in
new
Cad
poll.
Bane's ship.
All right. I'm gonna
That was
pull it up
after.
for you guys.
Yeah.
Is there a how do we word this? Does Lego hate the prequels? I don't know.
But
It's like a
but here's,
bias towards
like,
the OT.
people.
Right.
So what kind of pissed me off about this is like not like yeah, obviously it's stupid that they would include it in 3 sets. That's just dumb because we could have had 3 different color versions of those episode 2 clone
Yeah.
troopers. That would have been fucking awesome.
100%.
Like you
100%.
cannot argue that wouldn't have been better. You just can't.
Yeah.
You're wrong. I'm sorry.
And
Like,
increased sales. I mean, like it must have. I mean, increased
you're right.
sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so here's like, we also like people make this like really holier than thou like statements on Reddit and stuff with the Lego Star Wars Reddit or Lego Leak Reddit. It's like, oh, Lego's releasing things in cheap sets to make them accessible. Yeah, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what about Commander Cody? He's in a $140 set. Why didn't they put him in the advent calendar instead for all the children who want Commander Cody? Can't afford. I'm like, it's stupid. It's dumb arguments that people make, and I'm just like, but you won't grill them for not doing it. You'll just cheer it on in the few times that it happens, but it's completely irrelevant because no one actually cared about that figure, but they do about you're stupid, but you're probably just a casual commenting on Reddit, and there's like you just don't know as much as like people like us that like follow it every day.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It would be this is
Pull us up. Does Lego hate the prequels? It's running a lot of activity. Yes is really pulling ahead. Well, here comes some no's. All right, go. We'll check in on a bit.
Yeah. Well, it's like this is more of an extreme comparison, but it's like if they did Captain Rex's Y-wing, but they just put like a blue clone, like they put like a 501st trooper in there or something.
Yeah.
Like,
And not Captain Rex.
yeah, like
Just give us
I mean,
the 501st specialist commander from the
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean, like,
so
this is-
much content out
yeah.
about that. I really hope
oh
they
my
do.
god, it'd be insane. Yeah, I mean that's an extreme comparison, but still, it matters when like they do a UCS land speeder and they give us not just a regular C-3PO,
Extreme
but a
comparisons
really dope
only,
one.
please.
Extreme comparisons only.
That's what
the
we
best
do.
kind. It's the best kind.
Things can't be okay around here. They're the greatest ever or the worst ever. That's how we.
Yeah.
That's what we call it.
I just really hope, like, to Ryan's point in his video that he made, like, I really hope that 2025 is the year because, like, I mean, Revenge of the Sith, especially
If
after
they're ever
20
going to
years,
pull trig, they have to do it on that because let me tell you something. As somebody who I've always Brent, we've talked about it. I've been a Phantom Menace guy. I think from way back. Never
I
really
like the Phantom
connected with
Menace.
Attack of the Clones that much. I'm sorry. I know it upsets people. I have grown a profound love for Revenge of the Sith at this point. So if they
It's great.
never, it is, but you guys got to remember, like at the time, it was like, all right. But I appreciate it now deeply. I do. It's moving.
I was
up the
8
chain.
years old. It was awesome. What are you talking about at the time?
I was
I
5,000
there.
years.
I loved it at the time.
I had pubes at that point, Ryan. I'm just
awesome.
saying. Like,
I was 11. I was perfect age for it. I remember coming out.
Ryan
of
was
Revenge
8.
of the
Ryan,
Sith.
I drove to the movie and probably had beers that night. My point is, I did not have this deep-seated love for it, but I do now. And I will say to you guys, I'll go on record. If they don't do it for you that year and give you the big love there, I don't know when it's going to happen, man. And I'm rooting for it. I want it for you guys. I want it for me. I'd love to see some Sith sets.
I
So.
wouldn't like it would be kind of weird, but I wouldn't hate like a May 4th UCS like $200 Grievous shuttle. Like
Grievous's ship would be fucking dope too.
Yeah, Ron, remember
it's
that
a little
fake one
niche,
from, like 10 years ago?
It's
Yeah.
not. I wouldn't say fit. Just custom. Yeah.
Well,
but
custom,
yes.
yeah.
Fake implies it was meant to trick, but
Yeah.
But yeah.
Where did both of
yes.
you guys sit, by the way? Quick, very fast sidebar. Were you guys deeply offended by the $80 Grievous thing? You just thought it was overpriced? I thought the set was great. I didn't think it was that
The
crazy.
Starfighter, Sean?
The one that just
Yeah.
retired a year ago.
pretty
I
crazy overpriced for 80.
$80
But yeah.
was too much. It is the one set that I agree $10 cheaper would have been better.
Right.
But
I still think it was a
$80
fine set, though.
$80 especially when you are just so dumb with it and don't include phase 2 Cody in a set that obviously probably should have. The Airborne Trooper is fantastic, and I'm glad I have it because I have it's fucking the best clone they've probably made in the past 3 years, right? Like, is there a better,
Which one?
more the Airborne Trooper from that set? It's
Oh, yeah.
probably
We
the
still had
best clone trooper they made.
Cloth Wastecape, too.
Yeah, like it's really good. But anyway, but when you do something like that, and you make a set that expensive, and then you put in the Obi-Wan Kenobi with burn marks instead of the right Obi-Wan, it's like you clearly don't give a rat's butt. And
You can say ass on this channel, Ryan.
you're just ripping people off. It's pathetic. You have to you like, as someone who reviews the product, I'm gonna be critical of like obvious things, and that's an obvious thing to me. So. Yeah, I like that set. It's really like the build is good, Grievous is good, the clone's good, but it should have been Obi-Wan with no burn marks,
Not
and then
torn
throw in a
up.
phase 2 Cody, and it's worth $80.
There you go.
They don't do obvious things like that. So
Yeah, it was.
Tyler, do you like it? Would you have loved it at 60? I ended up getting mine I got a rare Tyler deal where I got it for 50 or 60% off because they rotted at my Walmart for 80. They just rotted. And if you guys recall, that is the one. I don't know if it happened in your market, but that was the one. You know how we can generally expect 20% off of all Lego Star Wars sets?
Never went on sale,
that one
correct.
never went on sale. Right. It was only on clearance, which everybody should know is very different from sale. They never promoed. That's a promo, right? It's a temporary price cut, a TPC. They never went TPC on that. They only gave me a deal when it was like on the way out. And that's when I finally copped. I think, Brent, I told you that day. You were like, what?
I had to do Kohl's cash for mine. Like I had $20 in Kohl's cash.
Nobody felt good paying 80 for that thing.
No,
Okay, here's the 2025 case, and
All right.
Here's my thing. I have Return of the Jedi this year. I'm going to make a video about this. Probably, I don't know how soon, but much like I did with the UCS sets, and I kind of laid out what the next 3 years of UCS sets should look like in my ideal world. I'm going to do the same thing for 2025 and what they should do for the anniversary, because I'm basically going to follow the roadmap of what they did for Return of the Jedi, because that's what I feel is deserved for Revenge of the Sith, or what they should do. It's like, what are you going to do? More Return of the Jedi sets in 2025? Fucking no, make something else. You do, 2025 will be the 3-year rule comes up for diorama sets, by the way, that year. So we can do prequel diorama sets in 2025. Probation will be lifted.
Can you talk about the 3-year rule?
Yeah, it's just when Lego brings out something new, they don't do the prequels for 3 years in them.
Yeah, like the helmet, Sean.
The helmets,
Oh, yeah,
3
yeah,
years.
yeah.
The dioramas
You did mention that. My bad.
they're in their second year now of original trilogy. It'll be this year, right? And then next year they'll do all original trilogy again, because that's just what they're going to do. Maybe we'll get a Mando one. Who knows? But it won't be a prequel one. And then 2025 we'll get some prequels. that's the 3-year rule. It's kind of like, obviously they won't follow that exactly every time ever, but I just
because right when you think you have it figured out, they break it. Right. You talk about it all the time. You're like,
all of it's irrelevant.
this 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I can already think of
quick sidebar. Go ahead, Brent.
I was just real quick. I can already think of 2 super sick Revenge of the Sith dioramas. You do a Palpatine's arrest and you do Duel on Mustafar. And I mean, just like the amount of just beautiful, like translucent orange pieces. You could even maybe, I don't think they would, but if you put a couple light bricks in there, that'd be sick. I don't think they will though. I don't think they'll put light bricks in there.
Real quick sidebar on all this, May 4th GWP. You said it comes in cycles and waves, Ryan. From day one, and Brent will tell you, I rode for the Amperu May the 4th thing. I thought it was fantastic. I think it's a great way, because I know a lot of the old heads are calling for, we just need a poly bag with a Revan, man. I get that. It's cool. But to me, this was well, maybe not you, but the general population, they just want a poly with a, whatever. My point is, like, I thought this was better than the micro scale stuff that we had been getting and all that stuff. Like, do you think we're going to get something like this year, as far as you do? Was it the New Hope one? Was it going back to New Hope? Was it like the hallway scene? I've seen some stuff on it. What are we?
Hallway scene would be cool. They're like the problem with Star Wars promos is they'll only include one figure, I guess. So why would you do a hallway scene? Like,
not hallway, but it was like a corner. Have you guys seen what I'm talking about? It might have been from Yavin, actually. It wasn't the hallway. Yeah. My bad.
Oh, the picture I posted about how I think it might be something like a small little hangar. Something to kind of tie in with the X-Wing.
Like the corner of the Yavin, right? Something like that. Was it from Yavin?
It was like a crew member or something,
They give us like bigs. They give us bigs.
The guys from New Hope with the dumb helmets, but instead he had red on. I'm just gonna do it.
If they move away from this concept of a minifigure with a build ever, I'm gonna be so pissed. This is the way it should just be. You should never change this unless you're going to make it better. And by make it better, I mean include more figures or make the build bigger. There's nothing else to do. You have finally figured it out. It only took you 10 years or 5 years of.
So you love this. You would take this for the next 5 years.
Anyone that doesn't love this is dumb. No, I'm kidding. You're entitled to your own opinion.
You heard it. People open. Well, I mean, there's always going to be complaints. But people shat on this, and I'm like, this is one of the best things I've ever seen.
That's the general consensus. But yeah,
it was early, Ryan. It was early.
I don't think so.
Do you know? But okay, let me ask you this: do you agree with most sets? The gut reaction, not for you, just from the pulse. Most people do shit on stuff the first time they see it, but much like a song, the more they hear it, they start getting into it a little bit.
Just like BTS. I didn't like BTS at first, but the more I hear Dynamite, I'm like, damn it.
By the way, can you stand up? Are you wearing a BTS?
No, but it's very like the color scheme. Oh, by the way,
you've been wearing that the whole
time. I just
oh my god,
didn't have a good time to flex it, but yeah, I gotta flex that bob.
Shit, that's funny.
Shit. One more sidebar, Ryan. Last time you were here, I said I want wearing minifigures on a chain to be a thing, and you said too late, man. It already is, right?
At convention,
got a new one for you. I want to run it by everybody on the panel. What do we think about microfighters on a chain? Is that something we can really make happen? Is there anything worth pushing out there? Like, imagine like a big thick chain. What's that?
Microfighters aren't cool enough.
Yeah, figs are better.
They're not yet, though. They're not yet.
It would work best
when they see Sean walking around Brickworld with a microfighter.
I'm doing it. Hey, listen,
it would work best.
Me and Ninja are working on it. He already made, by the way, you saw it. Ninja made a Slave One microfighter chain.
Ooh,
it's pretty dope.
With the new Slave One.
No, but Ryan, I get part of it. Is you got to be able to flex. That's why I was saying, like, you got to run around with like a Cloud City boba, on your chain.
Little Cloud City bobes.
Little Cloud City bobes on that.
Clouds. Right. Sean's always busting.
All right, so look, let's close this out. Why so few prequel sets? I don't know. I still feel like cash rules.
According to the poll, 72% of 129 people.
Ryan's got another one.
They hate the prequels.
There you go, Ryan. 72% said they just hate them. It has nothing to do with anything else. They're just jerks. They hate the prequels.
I think some of the designers have to, but I also don't think that's probably the truth. But also, I don't. But I also understand why people like myself and others would come to that conclusion because of what they've done. Anyway,
all right. Let me ask you this, Ryan. One more thing. One more thing. The sloppiness. If they gave you the right minifigure in these, no, but hold on. If they gave you the right minifigure, does that change your opinion? Well, because it's like, okay, this is even bigger. This is an even bigger question. Do you guys, because we don't get data, do you think the gunship has sold enough to warrant, has done well enough to warrant another prequel set? Because I don't think it's done that well past the initial pop. That's just me as a casual observer. Well, more than a casual observer, but
it's another thing I could probably find out. But here's the problem with the gunship. You can know, obviously they can and they probably would, but I would think Lego shouldn't hold the gunship as a fair data point because of what they did. They fucked it all up on multiple levels, and then they tried to hold it ransom, right? They said, "Oh, if you want more UCS sets like this, you should go and buy it." And it's like,
they did say that. You
should have done what people fucking asked for and not shat in their face for it.
Yeah,
it goes both. What people would people wanted to buy it. That's why they asked for it. And then you went and did all these other things extra on top of it to really ruin it for people, and then expect them to still give you money. Pretty fucked up.
All right. Let me ask you this though: what if you had to assign a percentage? We're in Vegas.
Sure.
They were going to sell 1 million of these. Let's use big fat round numbers. They were going to sell 1 million if they had the exact right clone in that thing.
Huh.
How many did they lose by having the mustard boy in there? Like, what do you think? Like,
probably half.
Over a $350 set. Half the people didn't buy it because of the clone.
A good amount.
Not necessarily that people didn't buy it that would have otherwise, but they missed out on sales of like drawing people in that weren't interested at all.
They missed the on the fence boys.
Yeah. Well, because I don't love the UCS land speeder. Like I'm not craving to just like, it's not like, I'm not in a big rush to get that set, but a draw for me is the C-3PO. Because it's dope and it's exclusive to the freaking.
That's the only thing you've talked about when you talked to me about that set.
Yeah, the only reason it's exclusive is because I made too many videos bitching about the gunship one not being exclusive and cool. So lame. They're so. I can't believe it took any amount of convincing to tell them, hey, having a minifigure in the set that's cool would make it.
Ollie saying Common Ryan W.
They spend more money. So I don't know. Okay, so no, I wanted to answer the question that you had on the thing. Put the thing back up. I actually figured out my answer for it. I thought there was not like an answer for it. If you thought you'd never hear me,
what did I do? Did they hate them?
My Call of Duty stream.
What was the
UCS sets?
I'm moving
Tyler,
around.
I'll let you give an answer first if you have an answer, but I finally put it together.
All right, good.
What's up with it? Or what's the question?
You actually would be put the thing on the screen.
So few. Sorry.
Okay.
I got a lot of topics for you guys.
I have one. I have an answer. I think that's pretty.
Ryan, can I full screen you for the answer? All right, here we go.
Yeah, wait, is Tyler you gonna go first or am I going first?
No, you're good, Ryan. You're good.
Okay, so why have there been so few prequel UCS? Like basically, so you had 2010 was the Obi-Wan Starfighter, right? And then after that, things fell off, right? 2010, like there were like I found pictures a lot on Brickshelf. If you guys ever use that website, but a lot of sets in that era. Clone sets included, everything, would be Lego store half price a lot. I'm sure Tyler, you remember like clone battle packs, $5 day after Christmas, that kind of just the good shit. But this set, the Venator, the home one Man Calamari Cruiser set is cheap to this day. That's how I guess unpopular and overproduced it was at the time, right? So it's not just exclusive to Clone Wars sets. So they didn't just stop making Clone Wars sets because or prequel UCS sets because it flopped or wasn't selling well, I would say, because they had like 2014 came along, all these good things happen. But I think the reason there were no prequel UCS sets for 10, 11 years, and it's unfortunately somewhat warranted, is pretty obvious. So for the first, 2000 to 1999 to 2010-ish, right, when they released the last one, the movies were coming out. So you had 1999, 2002, 2005 movie. Then you had the Clone Wars movie in 2008. And they dropped Grievous that year. There was Darth Maul, the Naboo, and then Obi-Wan. So that's the 4 for that like decade, right? And after that, there were no more movies. And movies obviously tend to be the big pushers of these sorts of things. Obviously, in a different era like than we are now.
That's fair. Yeah. Makes sense.
And so as we got into the 2010s, you no longer had the movies to push these sorts of UCS sets, so you're just kind of back to relying on what's tried and true, which like makes sense for them from a business perspective. And what I have like looked back on about the YouTube Lego space specifically, which is somewhat representative of the online Lego Star Wars community. Not everyone's going to be there, but generally what the YouTube Lego space and Lego to me was in the early years was a bunch of like young teenage boys playing with Legos and like just doing Lego videos. Like that's what it was. There were no girls, there were no adults making YouTube videos except for a select few, like Loxtane. I remember Lego Man 7777. There's another guy I can't fucking remember, but like very few and far between as far as adults went. And obviously any of the adults would be mostly like obviously at that time very predisposed to hating the prequels anyway. So a lot of people that are now in my position that are 25 to 30 or maybe 20 to 30, you'd say, at the time that 2010 came around and the movies got cut off, basically, it was like, oh, now it's a bunch of, like, I didn't fucking have
Venator money. You didn't have, you didn't have UCS money.
Yeah, that money didn't exist for a lot of us. Like, I'm sure Tyler's same boat. Like, he didn't just have $500 to buy a UCS Venator in 2013, right? Like, that just didn't exist. So I think for that decade, and like, the money just wouldn't be there if they had released one anyway. The money just wouldn't be there. And I think it's way different now. And I think they have maybe figured that out after, what we did with the UCS gunship poll. And obviously I did a very good job pushing that, I think. And I did like 3 videos, a live stream, a debate. I had a debate. That was fun stuff, but it's like, fuck, like, now you can kind of see that there's a lot of people that are into this sort of stuff. Like, like the views the videos get about Clone Wars stuff in general is pretty representative. So yeah, I think the money just wasn't there for a decade, like at all. Like even if they had released one, it would have almost certainly flopped, even if it was the best set ever, just because like I didn't have a fucking money until probably 3 or 4 years ago to be able to just get it, like it just wasn't there. Not like most people were probably high school age, and most people in high school don't have a job anyway. You're not going to be able to afford it. So I think things should change over this decade, and we should see a infusion a little bit more. If they're going to release 23, I don't know, call it 14 more UCS sets for the entire decade. I don't know if that's on the neck or on the dot or not, but say 5 of them are from the prequels for like for the rest of like the decade. So you get the 2 in 2025, and then you get a few more thrown in there throughout the last like 5 years. That's what I would guess, but hard to, so far out, it's hard to know. But yeah, that's my take. That's why I think we had a decade. You don't have to clap. I appreciate it though.
No, listen,
It's
that's all I wanted to hear.
Wait, what's the Georgia?
By the way, the chat is on fire, Ryan. I know you don't like being blown up, but everybody's like, he's spitting fire. He's telling the truth. What I loved about it was grounded in what I loved about it was it's still tied into the almighty Lego dollar, and that's what I really think it is. I don't think they're being jerks intentionally. I think
they are with some money. They're just fine,
but I think they're not. They don't think the money's
because they're jerks.
I just think that they don't think the money's right for that yet. That's all. Because you said, admittedly, like all of you guys on the panel except me are still in your 20s, and fair or not, there's analytics, there's all this stuff, there's more data than there's ever been, and they're like, dudes are not going to drop a 7-piece on a prequel set right now. They're just not there yet. Not us in this bubble.
Release one that expensive anyway. I think that would be silly. But
fair enough. That's dumb. Whatever it is. Right. You're right. But to me, like, the things that should be reserved for that are a Falcon, whatever, like ultimately iconic for the whole brand, not necessarily like whatever. The point is like,
just when I think back to it, like 2010s it was literally like, and especially because of the COVID boom of Lego fandom and all the like college kids that came into it, like through watching my I get so many messages like, oh, I got back into Lego Star, and like people that come up to me at conventions that are like my age, like same type of thing. Like I got back in from watching your videos, blah, 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 that sort of thing. And it's like that pre 2020, that 2019, maybe, not so much of that, because it was mostly just people that have been into it, and like that's kind of all you had. So I think you're saying the money wasn't there, and that's kind of the place to be.
I think it's more that than they're jerks, but I will say, like, you've made so many valid points on how they've been sloppy, lazy, whatever it is when it comes to that, because I'm not saying I dismiss that at all, but I just think the biggest factor is they're just like, they don't have the dough for this stuff yet. Fair or not, that's kind of where they're at. And yeah. Let's see.
All the Prequels
Solid
fans
Bricks
have-
brings out a really deep question here. What does it mean to be a Star Wars fan? That's interesting. Brent, what does it mean to you?
This is when you break out the Drewski meme where he's like, "What
You
do
gotta
you
do
mean?
dad
What do
stuff.
you
I'll be
mean
right
by
back.
that?" Go ahead. I mean,
Gone.
this is what it means. It means you buy every Lego Star Wars set, even though you hate it, and we all complain about it. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't know. It's a deep question. I just think, man, it's time. It's time to get Prequel UCS sets. We all have money now. We're all grown up. We all have jobs. I mean,
I
we're
don't
just
have a
due
job.
for it. Well, we all have we all have disposable incomes now at this point,
Sure.
depending on however we get it. But I don't know. Deep question. I don't know. I'm stumped. Tyler, what does it mean to be a Lego Star Wars fan?
I would say it just means that you have to come at it with your own angle. I think at the end of the day, I mean, if you're a Lego Star Wars fan, no matter really what angle you look at it, you're still a Lego Star Wars fan. Whether or not you are a prequel guy, OT guy, investing in it or building mocks, like anything like that. I mean, I think it still comes down to the fact, I mean, you enjoy the product that you are, buying, complaining about, loving, disliking, hating.
Yeah.
So,
well, it kind of you could say the same thing about being a Star Wars fan in general, I guess. I mean, there's channels out there that pretty much literally just complain about the sequels. So, but Star Wars fans are hard to please, whether it's whether it is Lego or whether it's just Star Wars in general.
Give me a second here. Check private chat.
But yeah, no, I think it's time.
Just take that.
Oh, is it really? Okay, I got you. Got you.
What other topics did Sean have for us? Any because I think we can. I think I have my favorite one to bitch about.
So the Holly that's been talking the whole time is a fake
okay. You don't
Holly?
have to say it on the fucking thing. I put it in the private
I'm
chat.
so sorry. I
Come on,
fucked
dude.
up.
Come on, live streaming 101,
I
bro.
fucked up.
Jesus. Anyway,
I'm so sorry. I suck.
Tyler, what do you think? Oh, actually, someone commented this on my Super Star Chart video, and they said, I think this is the first time, and this might be ever, I haven't really given it a whole lot of deep thought, but the summer wave might be significantly worse than the first half of the year, and it might not even be close. Like the summer wave is fucking kind of looking like even if the Swamp Speeder is good, 2 good sets don't make a good wave. That's not how it works.
I guess we can talk about how bad the mechs are going to be. I can't believe that's even real. Are we still getting a buildable Chewbacca?
Yeah, that's going to be in August, September. Maybe September.
Buildable Chewbacca and Star Wars mechs. That's just.
I knew it was happening. I was running with that for 6 months. I was confident that Lego was going to make some stupid decision like that.
I'm pretty sure I put that out there, and I heard about it, and I was like, this is probably true, but it shouldn't be. The guy, I thought it was going to be May 4th. Turned out not to be May 4th, which is nice, I guess, because the next one's probably better. But it's like, fuck, it's dumb. But it's like, Chewbacca's Chewbacca. You should not make it, but also it's dumb.
Yeah,
don't like it.
And the mechs too. It's like,
did you guys all answer the what does it take to be what does it mean to be a Lego fan? Star Wars fan? Okay. We moved
check
off.
Private chat, Sean.
Okay, yes, sir.
Because it hasn't been taken care of.
Gotcha.
No, what I was going to say was the mechs were like the Seattle Seahawks were on the 1 yard line in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, and then they threw an interception. That's what the mechs are. That interception. We were on the 1 yard line. We were on the verge of greatness.
For 23, sorry, catch me up. Or in general,
Lego Star Wars mechs for this year, yeah.
No, but what did that ruined 2023? Like what did that interception break?
Took away minifigure packs for $15.
Okay. Sorry.
Like the minifigure packs last year were like the Seahawks 40-yard pass to Jermaine Kearse that he caught bobbling off his helmet, and that was like awesome. I was like, holy shit, we're going to win the Super Bowl. I'm obviously a Patriots fan, so I'm telling this from an opposite perspective, which was like, holy shit, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We made it. We're here. And then fucking Russell Wilson throws it into Malcolm Butler and he takes it away. You know, taking victory or defeat from the jaws of victory type of thing. That's what the mechs are. We had $15 minifig packs. We could have had more.
Should have had more. I mean, when you think about it, it's like Lego Star Wars is so perfect for minifig packs. I mean, all the clones, all the stormtroopers.
Well, here's the thing too. Obviously the first round of minifig packs were army buildable. If I was going to really go in there and analyze it and decide how it should be, how things should be, minifig packs aren't armies at all. They are generally named characters. Or would be generally named characters. Like you would have a 3-pack celebration of Luke, Han, and Leia. You just would, you know, to release alongside Yavin. You'd do like a Cody, Rex, Fox Phase 1 thing, you know, for a couple of your packs. And then battle packs, of course, continue to be the army builder because like what you have 2 separate things, you know. You just, like UCS and MBS, you just kind of keep them separate. They're their own things, and you don't necessarily mix the name with the thing. So you just minifig pack is generally named characters that aren't army builds. Battle pack is army builds. Pretty straightforward. So that would be my way I'd do it. But obviously they don't want to go with the good ideas here.
I don't think that's my phone, Sean.
Oh, okay.
The ding.
It's not my phone.
It's not
Is it
my
you,
phone,
Tyler?
man. No, I've got
What's
everything
happening?
off.
Maybe something's happening on my desktop. My apologies.
I haven't had notifications on.
Yeah, it
in
must
like
be
3
you.
years.
All right.
Oh, you got the noise canceling. So that's
Those who know me, stop texting me if that's the case. I do have the noise canceling. My phone's definitely silent. I'm wondering if it's okay. My bad.
Promise it's not me.
All right, minifig pack's gone.
Thoughts?
Here's another one. This was
Anyone
a
else?
top requested topic. I'm sorry. We got to bring up another one here.
Well, hey, Sean, I have one quick thing on like the minifig.
Please.
Okay, so I guess this goes back to, of course, everyone's saying, all right, you know, Lego wants to make the most money, you know, sell through the most stuff. They're only going to make what sells, you know, from what their, you know, financial team says makes the money. You know, like that's naturally what a big company like that is going to base off of. So pound for pound, we're comparing a $15 mech, and we don't know this for a fact, but, you know, say it is the Book of Boba Fett, Boba Fett in that mech. Okay, so on the same year as the Slave 1, you know, microfighter, so you're paying $5 more. It's not like you're saving money getting that, Boba Fett minifigure. So if it is the same minifigure, pound for pound, dude, you have the exact same, you know, fan base of Lego Star Wars. You know, say there's 100,000 people out there collecting Lego Star Wars. How many people do not need to get that mech then compared to the people that say would need to get a brand new accessory pack with new minifigures, let alone, like I agree with Ryan, you know, they should be named characters, but we're just comparing like a $15 versus $15 set here. You know, if they did give us a minifig pack of all, you know, 2 Phase 2 clones and then a yellow Phase 2 clone, you know, would that not analytically sell 10x the quantity, if not 100x the quantity at that same $15 price point, where you would assume Lego is going to base their profit margins, you know, pretty similar on those two. You know, if they're selling it for 15, you know, whatever they're making, you know, $6, $7 a set, you know, they're going to make that same $6 or $7. You know, so if they're worried about sales, why are they even bothering giving us mechs when it has to be factual? I mean, if you give us anything else $15.
Yeah, but Tyler, don't you know kids are going to buy these instead?
So I agree on that. I get where you're coming
But kids
from.
will buy the other thing too, and it's fucking like it's so
Yeah.
silly.
And the biggest thing is, look, I mean, if they're the exact same minifigures in the mechs, if they are the same minifigures that, sure, maybe little Jimmy that just started collecting and Chris.
Shout out to Jimmy.
Little
Hopefully he's
Jimmy.
watching the
No
channel.
disrespect to you, but maybe you don't got a Darth Vader yet.
I always
He's
say
gonna get a
Timmy,
Darth
but I
Vader
didn't mean
eventually.
Ryan's Timmy. I always said Timmy, Jimmy. All right, but go ahead. Yeah.
So Jimmy's gonna get his Darth Vader eventually. You know, why cater it to like, you know, Jimmy and Paul? You know, a couple Jimmys, couple Pauls out there that don't have
I can answer that.
a Darth Vader.
May I?
Yeah.
Gateway drug, sir.
But is it worth it for such a minute audience compared to something that would
you
sell?
have
at
to
10x?
bring people into
It is. You got to bring the boys to the yard, Tyler. So, like, if you put Vader behind everybody and their brother knows Vader, even the 5-year, even Timmy, Jimmy, whatever it is, they know Vader. Everybody knows Vader. And I think if you put him behind $150 paywall, he's never going to get fully into this thing. Now, for the dorks, they can put the arm print Vader behind a $150 paywall and all that kind of stuff, and variant Vaders and, you know, destroyed mask Vaders. But a little kid's like, I want the Darth Vader, Mom. We're at Target. I have a little bit of allowance. Give me the $15 Vader. They're always going to have the gateway drug stuff. That's my argument for it. You got to get people in somehow. And I think the strategy has been, I know you got a good point.
I have a very good point right now.
I know it's way better than mine. I'm just saying, like,
well, something new that once you're done, I'm coming in.
No. Jump on it. I'm just saying, like, they're always going to play in that $10 and $15 price point because everybody's got 10 or 15 bucks for the casual throw in the cart for their kid for good behavior or to shut them up, whatever it is. Like,
okay, Sean, answer this one then. Okay,
all right, I'm ready.
We don't know for a fact yet, but knowing Lego, they're going to give us the same Boba Fett and a mech for $15 in 2023, 6 months after the Slave One microfighter for $10.
Oh, well, you're assuming the mech would be a Boba Fett mech or Book of Boba Fett. It'd probably be.
Well, I'm assuming. I mean, sure, but I mean, I'm just saying, knowing Lego. I mean, sure, it's 50-50. Everything's 50-50. But like, say if they do it, if say 2 months from now we get pictures, it's the same Boba Fett that came in the microfighter. If that is the case, Sean, I mean, which look, I mean, it's probably over.
That's dumb. I'm not ever going to say that's not dumb. But go ahead.
So what I'm asking then at that point, okay, even that one slot, then that one $15 slot, you know, keep the Stormtrooper. You know, although again, the same argument with the Stormtrooper, you can have a 3-pack of accessory. You know, you have an accessory pack for $15. Give us 3 Stormtroopers, and it makes perfect sense because you not get 3 minifigures. You know, if you know anyone, again, Jimmy, Timmy, shout out to them. If they want 1 Stormtrooper, they can get 3 Stormtroopers for that same price. You know, and get that mech out of there. They can army build. You know, then they like Star Wars 3 times as much, right? I mean, if that's what you're saying.
No,
you know,
I 100% agree. I just think that Jimmy isn't thinking. He's not in the army building world yet. That's all.
But how can you? I mean, what's the difference? How can you know if a random Jimmy wants to army build or wants to play with his mech? How can Lego really determine the difference there?
Here's my take
to not just satisfy both needs.
Fair question. I'm just saying, like, I think. Again, for okay, who's the hero in this story when you're 5 years old? I'm going to tell you right now. My daughter, who's watched it all, right? I'm just using one example. I hate when people do that. She has not once mentioned to me a stormtrooper, a clone trooper, anything. She's about, and by the way, it's disappointing. Her favorite character is Anakin. By far, it's not even close. That's all she talks about is Anakin and Padme and whatever in a 5-year-old's world.
Star Wars characters and Anakin and Padme, they are the top.
No, she's doing fantastic, and I think that's great. And that's what made me really appreciate these, because she's like telling me shit about it. She's like, "Well, here's why he's good, because he got very insightful." These kids. My point is, like, 5-year-olds do not necessarily ride for Stormies or Clone Boys. They don't. They don't care about army building. They want the main event. They want the hero, the villain. In fact, my wife. My daughter is way more into villains than it's scaring me, quite frankly. Like, she loves villains so much. So my point is, like, if you're asking me, from what I know from on the streets intel, little kids want the stars of the thing, and they don't necessarily want armies just yet.
Okay, then Tyler's got a question to Sean again, real quick.
Yeah, but
why do they? Again, we'll never know the answer, but Sean, I mean, just based off your assumption, you know, a little one sentence answer.
Sure.
If that's the case, then why are they doing a stormtrooper in a mech and not Luke Skywalker?
Great question. No, great question. I don't know.
So what I'm asking then is, you know,
that was questionable.
So if they
again,
quota,
it all goes back to, I mean, look, again, all this stuff that we're talking about tonight is underlined by corporate greed or whatever you want to call it. Like, there is going to be people who are going to wait for that to go on clearance at 10 and buy Stormies at 10 a piece, which probably isn't a good deal, right? I mean, you can get them for you can get them for 5. I don't have a great answer. I think it's also experimental. I think Ryan, Tyler, one of you mentioned, like, this, what should we say? Unfortunately, this mech thing across most Lego waves, it's not limited to Star Wars now. It's finally, like, penetrated our Star Wars shit, has been a staple. I mean, people were forced to get a friggin' mech to get the first Wolverine in 10 years or whatever it is. Like, they're doing it because they don't want to do a poly bag of a Wolverine for $5. They're like, they want it bad enough, they'll do it for 10 or 15 or whatever the hell that set costs.
Star Wars had it so perfect too with microfighters. Like, they were the thing. like that were like it fit so great.
Now they've always been one fig and $10 historically.
Yeah.
Like, walk me through the history. Okay.
Since 2014, right? 2014
Yeah.
winter.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't have the answer for you, Tyler, but like, again, I'm old, you can say cynical, whatever, but like, if you follow the money on most things, that's why these things happen.
Well, okay, then
very rarely do people do the right thing or do it for the fans. And if they do something for the fans, they're going to use it as a marketing pitch or a marketing,
So I got one last quick thing involved in that. Okay. It comes down to the fact of, I mean, I guess this is kind of a double question, and maybe Ryan knows the answer. I mean, does Lego Star Wars themselves have a limit of, actual SKU numbers they can put out per year, or, a limit of like, look, like this whole year can't cost more than $1,500? Like,
I'm sure there is a limit somewhere, whether it be piece count, whether that be the number of figures or something.
So what I'm getting at then is why. Yeah. So I mean, so that's got to be limiting Lego from, say, and look, I mean, again, we don't work at Lego's finance team, but I mean, Ryan, I mean, you would be 5% of the market if they gave us phase 2, regular Clone Trooper battle packs, right? So it's like even you would cover 5%. Maybe I'd cover 0.5. A lot of other people in the space would cover another 0.5 or 1%. So we can eat up. We get, just as the community of the 20 to 30-year-olds building these armies, we could eat up half that market for them. And the thing is too, like, I mean, what is so bad in the sense of, say they produce, I mean, Ryan, again, we don't know. Do you have any idea how many 501st battle packs they ever produced throughout the entire?
I would bet, in our Las Vegas example, bet the house on the idea that it's probably the set that has sold the highest quantity.
So you're thinking 100,000 plus?
Of any of all time? Must be well over 100,000.
Yeah. They sold so many of those. They made so much money. And
I guess my biggest question here is, okay, say on a
I have
battle
an answer for you based on that. Tyler, can I interject? I feel like with the 501st, that set a precedent for everything you're talking about now, because it's demonstrated. Sorry, retail on that was 30 or 40? 30? Okay.
Yeah.
It set a precedent that we, the consumer, is willing to stretch to 30 to army build. So they're not as compelled. Yeah, they're not as compelled. They're not as compelled to go back down to 20 to army build as they maybe would have been.
Well, okay, then one last thing, and then we can move on completely. I
love this. This is what I wanted. Go.
Well, so what limits? Okay, say again, if Lego puts out a SKU number, for a battle pack that we all like, what limits them from not just say, giving us a 6-month run? Okay, make a certain amount, like not necessarily limited, but say just make a conservative amount. Don't overproduce. They can't lose money.
6 months is hard for retailers. That's my short answer.
Well, even a year then, but even then, if they don't overproduce it, like what limits them? Like how can Lego lose money on any set? So it's got to be some sort of limitation. And what I've always wondered too is, I mean, Lego themselves is of course making the sets for pennies. Okay, they sell it to all these wholesalers and resellers. They make their initial money. I'm not too sure exactly. I mean, how does it go into Lego stores? I mean, do Lego stores just get the product, like say like a car dealership? I mean, are they kind of just handed the product almost, or are Lego stores actually are individual Lego stores, Lego brand stores, are they actually putting up their upfront individual store money to purchase the product for that store? Or is Lego just genuinely just shipping them the product and it's all under the same umbrella?
Yeah. So, okay. So breaking this down, it was a multifaceted question. So for the retail partners, and we'll call those Target and Walmart being the most prominent, right? The buyer who owns the relationship with the toys buyer, the salesperson for Lego will go in. This is exactly what I do, just not for Lego. They'll go in, they'll pitch them a product. Even if they have an ongoing partnership, and they'll say like, we think this one's going to be hot. You might want to go heavy on this. This one's experimental. When you have a real good relationship, you don't ever want to overload your retail partner with dust, with shit that's going to, die on the shelves. Number one. So they're going to go in there and say like, look, and this is what happened with clones. I already know it. This was the first time they had done anything with the 501st, even though Ryan and everybody was riding for it. The reason it sold out so quickly is the buyer was not willing to take the risk on an unknown quantity, either to them or metrics-driven history. They're like, I'm not going to buy a bunch of these 501st. I'd rather buy more Luke's X-Wing because Luke's X-Wing always sells, for example. Then when it became a hit, there was a production staff, again, taking COVID out of the equation. when it became a hit and they're sold out and it brought all the boys to the yard and Ryan's activated the whole army to go out there and get these things, they had to play a little bit of catch up. But what that does unintentionally on that part was it drove the hype for it, because it came to the point, and I think we were all there, when you saw a 501st, you were just compelled to buy it because you're like, these are fine. And whatever that was. Ryan, how long did that last when they were sold out all day, every day? Was it 6 months? Something like that?
Quite a few months.
Okay, we'll say 6 months. When they were on the shelf, like, it's a fucking arm sweep. We're getting them all, right? Okay, so that's number one. Retailer, they got sure bets, they got risks. They do want to experiment a little bit. They can't just do the old reliables because it's a very dynamic world out there. Inherently, even Lego themselves, that hates prequels and all that stuff, whatever it is, they know they can't just do same old shit all the time. They got to throw a little bit of, change in there, or variety.
Like a foosball table.
Like a foosball table. Shout out to foosball table, Ryan. I did get that deal. All right. So that's what happened there. Now, you were asking about there's pars. That's the other thing. We call them pars. So for each store, and this applies to Lego stores, company owned, depending on the market, depending on the location, they're going to have a certain amount that they have on hand, on shelf, right? So if you're in a smaller market, Brent's in a smaller market, shout out to Brent, he might get 4 sets, whereas in LA, I'm going to get 10 sets on the shelf just because of population. Has nothing to do with anything else. It's just there's more people, more turns, more heads going through the door, and they're going to pick up these sets. That's one factor. So that's kind of how you set the quantities on hand. The Lego store stuff, same thing applies to market. They're not ordering, they're not predicting. All that's done at corporate. Now, a store manager, and if Shy is in here, actually Shy would be great on this one. Shy, are you in here? I've seen him commenting. Store managers can override your on hands, we call them. Which is, you typically get a case of 12. I don't know how they come. 501st. Shy could make a special request, say my store happens to be really hot, I can get 24 of them or whatever. So I know it's a long-winded way, but I'm trying to explain to you that it's not that simple. Like, a lot of things at play, but
so real quick,
in general, the Lego store, that's all handled by corporate. They have all the analytics. They see how many clone boys sell at that store versus the one that doesn't, and they'll get more clone boys into the one that sells more.
Then I guess I beg the question. And this goes for any set. Is there an actual way where Lego can lose money producing a set?
No, not when it's clones.
Well, any set. I'm talking about. Even
yes, 10 or so buildable figure.
You think Lego themselves as a company directly lost money over the entire production run of that Gen Urso?
For the money they probably spent on the mold?
I'm being sarcastic. No, they didn't.
Their margins are too high, probably.
Well, here's the other thing. So one other thing, I don't want to bore you guys. Right of return is a very real thing. So when you're selling into a retailer, you either negotiate right of return or not. Lego has enough juice where they don't need to negotiate right of return. And what that means is if the thing is a flop, the company has to buy it all back. The shit that did not sell, they got to buy it all back. Lego's way past that, if that makes sense. So, okay, Walmart's tough, right? 'Cause they got a lot of variety there. I still feel like even though we all talk about these clearances, again, I feel like it's in a bubble. They're doing just fine. I think they probably have 80% of their stuff overall sold through, and it's fine. But that's across the board, right? But that other 20%, whether it's the Ninjago stuff, it's mostly Ninjago or Mario that's on clearance. I've seen, they've already made their money on that, and everybody's whole. So Tyler, again, it depends on the relationship from the vendor to the retailer. I always personally negotiate right of return. I'm just go ahead and clearance it out. I don't want to buy it back. But when you do non-right of return, the retailer makes more margin because they're taking more risk. Does that make sense?
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think it all just kind of came down to there's no way that Lego themselves can lose money on a set. So why are they? And so
I think on an individual set they absolutely can, but not on a blended basis. They can't, if that makes sense.
Okay, so again, I think it all comes down to the fact there has to be some sort of cap every year of how much actual product they can put out for a specific theme. That's why we are getting kind of these more obscure choices, because maybe they got to try stuff and those attempts, you know, like the mechs, you know, trying for a year or two, you know, those eat up other slots. They can't just like throw those on top, right? Like they can't just throw the concept of a mech on top of what they say would have normally done because they're limited, right? I mean, to some capacity.
I think they can. I think the last 2 years or 3 years has been the most contentious years for the vendor, the sales guy, which is my role selling into retail, and the buyer that there's ever been in the history of Lego. Not history, because, you know, they had their dark period. They almost went out of business, all that stuff. But in the last 10 years, I think this was the most wild time to be the sales guy going into Walmart with a plan.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a full answer you wanted, but this price shift, I almost said famously, we're nobody, but I went on record on this show and I said, there's no way you're going to wake up tomorrow and shit will be $15 higher or whatever. What was it? What do we agree on? 10%? Remember when they did the great price increase? Was it 10%?
Yeah.
Brent, I went on record. I said, there's no way, because I've never seen that happen in my life, where an entire category went up 10%, 15% overnight. I'm like, that must have been the wildest conversation ever. Because you gotta understand, like, Lego sold in at X price, and then they like, oh, and we're gonna raise the retails on it. And at first, it's cool because Walmart, Target was making more margin.
Yeah.
But you know what that also does on the next reorder? That makes the sell-in. We call it the sell-in when we sell products to the retailer. Made that go up that much more too, and that's a bitter pill to swallow because now it's screwed up everybody's plan for the year. And again, Lego is so far up there. I haven't been on an account as grandiose as Lego. I've done some really cool stuff, multi-million-dollar deals, whatever, but I haven't done billion-dollar deals like Lego. So I'm sure that was all handled by people way up the food chain.
No.
But like, that was some wild shit. I have never overnight seen that many SKUs jump that much ever in my life.
Yeah,
so
it was
whatever that
definitely-
means to you guys, I'm not trying to blow myself up. I'm just telling you, like, I've sold in some cool shit. I've been in boardrooms of all these places we all talk about, and I've pitched stuff successfully. I have never seen something overnight jump that high in price and get away with it. It's fucking kudos to Lego for pulling it off, honestly.
Yeah. One day you get
That
them out
said-
for
that
200,
said-
the next day it's 240.
Yeah. That said, we're starting to see that, you know, there's, you know, the elasticity is starting to come back. I think they did overshoot. I think we all knew that at the time. But if you're looking at some of the price points of this stuff, sorry, Tyler, to table the mechs for a second, but like city sets, when I saw the city wave, when does that usually start getting leaked? October, September. I took note and said, oh, they already learned pretty quickly, because I feel like the city prices are better this year than they were last year. For example, lessons weren't learned everywhere, but I think they tried this experiment like, all right, let's see if these idiots pay 20% more than they did last year. And it's like, nope, they're not doing it. So sorry, I'm all over the place on that, but it was like a wild topic. It gets me fired.
I understand everything you're saying.
Tyler, Ryan, was I too all over the place on that? Do you get what I'm saying? I know.
No, I followed. It makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a complicated question, but
Yeah.
the main thing you're asking is Lego stores, completely different island from what they're doing with their partners. That's a whole nother world. Like,
Okay. Yeah. And
they're
that's
getting 100% margin at Lego store. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
okay.
Honestly,
So that's what I was just wondering. I was wondering
okay.
if, look, I mean, does, you know, the Chicago Lego store have to upfront, you know, a $30,000 order every 3 months, or is it all just under the same Lego umbrella? But yeah, you answered it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they all have budgets, sure. I don't know their exact structure, but for the most part, it's not as much of a risk as, dude, there's 7,000 Walmart locations. That's a much bigger
I
nut.
think there's over 10,000, Sean. Is there not?
It's a lot.
Well, 7,000 superstores, but then there's the grocery stores that don't carry Lego. Whatever the
There's
number is.
Targets and
Then there's Targets and all.
And
Okay,
Kohl's, and Barnes
Meyer.
and Noble is even
Meyer too.
Meyer.
Hey,
yeah.
shout out to Barnes and Nobles. God, we got to give them more love.
Hey,
Ryan
shout out to
hates them.
Meyer,
We'll talk
though.
about it.
Yeah, me and Brent
I don't
know
hate
what's
them.
up. Shout out to Meyer.
Ryan, you openly shit out. You said I'd rather go there. If you want a release on day one, go to fucking Barnes and Noble if it's sold out. Still
Or
won't go.
Kohl's. I mean, Kohl's in store. I mean,
Shout out to
Kohl's.
Kohl's.
Kohl's in store. You know.
what other state of Lego Star Wars topics do we have?
All right, let's see.
Or anything we can pull from the chat? People have questions too.
I get home.
All right. Now, Ryan, I don't know if that was really solid bricks, David, in here earlier. He dropped a video today. He did his ranking of the greatest helmets of all time, or the helmets to date in order. He did a countdown. Towards the end, Ryan, you've already probably heard this. He's rubbing his head.
I don't watch.
Okay. Well, I don't know if people have looped you in. You get a lot of DMs. He said pretty blatantly, if you guys haven't seen it, go watch it. He's like, this is a pretty good finale for this, or something like that. I watched it earlier today. He said this is a great way to round out this this line, this way, whatever you want to call it. We might get one or two more, but it sounds like this is it. And what a great collection it's been. He really made it sound like it's final. My question to you guys is he predicting that? Or has he been given some insight? And if that's the case and it's wrapping up, like, why is it wrapping up? Are they not? I mean, Ryan, you said the reviews aren't doing well, views wise. Lego cares about that a little bit, but if it was ending, why? Do we think there's too many duds out there? Like, is this new information to you that it might be ending, or you think this is crazy and it's going to go on for 5 more years?
Shit, maybe. Now that I think about it,
I went to the comments. Everyone's like, great video, David. I'm like, no, why aren't we talking about he said this thing's over? This is crazy.
Yeah, it's. I thought it was kind of.
Tyler, have you given any thought? Do you think this is the finale with the Clone Boys? What are we doing here?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, I think, look, I mean, the thing is they've got so many options, you know, so it's like, and there's even a couple options up front where it would be kind of strange to think, although I guess it's the same with UCS sets. I mean, the fact that not even, yeah, so I take that back. I mean, I was going to say not even one sequel helmet, like not even an attempt, but they have done a UCS, you know, so I think they're completely just out of the sequel game for a while. So now that you say that, I mean, I think they've done all the big ones. I mean, can anyone think of any notable character that it's like, just is missing? I mean, do you guys think of any?
I always wanted to see the Royal Guards, but I mean,
Kylo Ren is a really good one if you're going to make a sequel one. Someone in the chat said
Kylo Ren would have been fantastic. Again, I think Royal Guard is a Target exclusive. It would have been perfect.
Dude, right? It's red
box, Target logo on the
front.
And
you'd be down for that, right? Royal Guard on that one?
Use the red. I'll make it a red card exclusive even. I've got a red card.
Of course you do.
I worked at Target for a year before I got fired.
I watched the video. It's fantastic. Yeah. I heard what you did. I respect it.
Yeah. I posted a picture of a set that was already revealed, but I posted it in the back room and I was dumb because I literally posted.
Best thing that ever happened to you, though. It's all right.
Well, look, I mean, that spiraled into a lot of nonsense, but we won't go down that path. But it did help the YouTube side of things. I wasn't in a 9-to-5 job anymore. But Kylo Ren.
Ryan, has it crossed your mind that it's over? Is it possible it's over?
I think that would be stupid, but that's kind of their MO.
Okay, let's go with the almighty dollar. Like I've tried to tell you guys tonight. Are we soft on sales? Is because that's the only reason it would happen. There'd be no other reason, not because they're jerks. I'm sorry, but
well, yeah. Why would they stop doing the thing that they've only done original trilogy of? Yeah, that would make no sense.
It's not going to be because
I guess I see a lot of Luke's helmets on shelves, but I also disagree with the idea that just because I see something on shelves means it's not selling great, because every set is always on shelves for the most part. So
no, I agree. And we talked about those cars earlier, right, Ryan? It's good. It's actually things sell better factually
when they're for sale.
Correct.
Empty pegs don't sell. Don't sell.
No, but seriously, no. People want it bountiful when they go to get the thing. They want a lot of them. Contrary to popular belief, people don't want to get the last one of anything. They think it's damaged, it's been touched, whatever.
Sure.
Go ahead.
No, I get, man, it would kind of suck if that was it, but like the opportunity of clone helmets is ripe. No secret. That's fucking sad if that's it. That's pretty sorry.
I don't mean to bring everyone down. He brought that into the guys. Again, go watch his video if you want to, but you can just hear me say it. He did a countdown. I disagreed wholeheartedly. He put, love you, David. He put the fucking TIE fighter helmet at 5 or something. I'm like in the middle or whatever. I'm like, I can't take this list seriously.
That's number 1.
Right. I don't know. Ryan, what are your top 3 in order? Go.
I wasn't ready.
Don't do Clone Boys. All right, go
I
ahead.
won't. The Clone Boys have issues.
All right,
Let me pull them up. Hold on.
Well, I got my question.
Tyler, rip them out. Let's go.
All right, I'm going TIE fighter pilot helmet, scout trooper, Boba Fett. Truthfully.
1 to 3.
Yeah, 1 to 3. Yeah, TIE fighter first, Boba Fett.
All right.
Cody's
If you
close.
guys want to throw your Clone Boys in there, I'm not going to be upset with you. but I'm
Look,
just-
no, the Clone Boys have issues.
Yeah, Sean,
Um,
Cody's a 4th for me, but
God,
Rex
Darth
is like
Vader is awful.
60.
Darth
No,
Vader's the worst one.
Cody's in my
Holy
top
shit.
5. I'll tell you that. Again, I'm just
top 5, yeah.
being honest.
Darth Vader's the worst one. Just gonna.
He has that number 2 or 3.
Dark Trooper, Ryan.
Darth Vader is the
Well,
worst.
Dark Trooper he had last. That was the one he nailed. Dark Trooper was
You tell
last.
me Vader's worse than Dark Trooper?
Have you seen Vader's chipmunk mouth?
Yeah, but Dark
Can't-
Trooper's got to be the worst.
Can't-
Ryan.
No. Vader.
Ryan, don't let me down. Dark Trooper's the
Like
worst.
Captain Rex is a chipmunk mouth too.
No, Vader is missing the bottom half of his
Oh.
grill.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
That's a
Ryan,
big-
Ryan, as every
Yeah.
commenter would say, it's a kid's toy, Ryan. It's
Where are
not-
you guys on Luke's helmet? He really shit on Luke's helmet, and I don't think that was
very
fair.
good. Luke's helmet is very good, but you know, I
He
mean,
said it's terrible.
well, that's
I know. Go ahead.
a thing to say. Yeah. Anyway, Boba Fett's the best one. Boba Fett's the best one by like a pretty wide margin. I would probably say Luke's is my second favorite. I really like the way that looks.
We
Like-
just want that visor lower, right? If you had to say something, it would be.
Hey, Sean,
I
Brent's
can
in the
say
back
something
row.
about it, but yeah.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, Brent. Shit.
All good.
We're doing helmets, favorites.
No, I've been listening.
I
the
don't know
whole
if you
time.
heard. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I didn't.
TIE
Solid
Pilot
Brick said it's
3.
over. I don't know if you heard that, but
TIE
No, I've
Pilot
been
3,
listening the whole
maybe?
time.
I go TIE Pilot 3.
all right.
So let's see.
Yeah, I
Let's see
think
the brick set rating. Let's see how people have rated them. People rate the Mandalorian better than Boba Fett. They're wrong.
no, man.
I
Like,
think it's because it's smoothed out, or like why are they saying
well,
that?
the
Recency
visor,
bias.
like the T is like too
Visor's not supposed
wide.
to be that wide.
Yeah, it should taper and be like
It's just
skinnier.
wrong. But they like the show, so it's good. That's how it works.
This is fair. I just feel like
Scout Trooper's
Scout
better.
Trooper is a sleeper, man. That one's
Scout Trooper's
amazing.
fantastic, man.
Ah,
That's
I look
as
fantastic.
accurate as can be.
See, that's why I like you guys. We're all reasonable. That Scout Trooper, you can't say it's top 3 because it's like kind of an insignificant character,
I really
maybe.
do. You can
but-
see him up there. You can see him in my frame.
No, I like it. I like what you got going on. Now, Ryan, I fully expect you to have a big shelf with all, 12 just sprawled out behind your head during your
11, which
Aspen
isn't an
Mark.
even number, and that's a problem.
we need 3 more so we can have
Um,
14.
here's the bright side. If this is the end of helmet sets, I fully would expect them to be replaced by Midi-scale.
Oh shit!
That
is the
say
same
that.
would be
price.
the most sensible thing.
Damn it! And with
You mean allocate that shelf space and everything to Midi-scale sets? What do you mean by that?
Price points, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's 69. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
$70, yeah. Which honestly I'd probably like better. As like helmet sets are nice, but like fuck getting like Midi-scale ships.
Yeah.
Midi-scale AT-AT next year, like I could get into it real quick.
Midi-scale AT-AT would be kind of sick. There also was that rumor of an AT-AT pilot helmet that never happened.
Do you know the story, Tyler? Or do I?
of AT-AT driver helmet.
Yeah, do you
Yeah.
know why it's not a thing?
I might have heard it back then, but not offhand though.
I believe retailers were given the choice between that
Oh shit!
and
Okay, now
it must have been the Dark Trooper, but I can't. Maybe Luke's helmet or something. Whatever.
I want to say now that you bring it up, I think it was Luke's helmet. If I'm being
I
honest.
think they were given an option. Yeah, and that they just didn't choose that one. So
That's
probably Luke's helmet, given that that's the one not based on one of the new properties. So I would guess Luke's helmet then would have been the one.
There was only one wave that got 2, right? Has it been 3?
2021
Okay.
got 2.
Yeah, Scout and Darth Vader. Right?
AT-AT was supposed to be for 22, correct?
Yeah, it would have replaced one of the 3, and Tyler and I think it would have been Luke's. But I think Luke's was the right one to do. I think it's good.
I agree. I think that one stands out. Again, I don't know if it's the best. It's hard to be
it's
the best
really
with the missing face, right? I mean, that's the only thing that held it down. But they did it a whole lot better than those Batman. Yeah. Did it a whole lot better than those Batman helmets, right? Those were kind of like woofers.
Well, the weird thing too is if they take away helmets in Star Wars, is that across the board? Is there no more like Marvel ones? Like
yeah, that's true.
because they just came out with the Star Lord
Matter.
mask, which I think the Star Lord mask looks sick. I don't think anyone's really talked about this Star Lord mask very much, but dude, I think it looks sweet.
Bro, it's too awkward for me, man. I almost feel like I'm like in a science lab, dude. If I had that thing on my shelf, man, I feel like I'm dissecting a head, man, with that helmet.
Yeah.
So it's just too awkward. It's the same thing with like the Luke's helmet. Like I'll get it eventually, you know, just for completion's sake. But man, that Luke's helmet's just kind of awkward in my opinion. You know, with nothing in there in the helmet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tyler, do some digging and see if that's true. You know, you're on top of this stuff, but watch it later. And he was pretty matter of fact. He's like, "Oh, it's a good run for these things," and I'm like, because you know he's in deep with them, so I'm like, "Shit, that was some big news."
Well, see, I mean, look, I mean, that's kind of a subtle thing, but you know, and I
It wasn't
feel like,
subtle. I mean, it's as subtle as a sledgehammer to the face for me. You know,
well, subtle thing is in like, look, I mean, it could be taken a couple different ways where it's like not directly like, you know, he's in land naturally, where it's not like directly like coming out with something like blatantly saying, yeah, I mean, this is it. Like, you know, never another one, which would be huge news if he just straight up said that.
He said they may leak out. He's like, they may drop one or two more, but for the most part, this is it. Like, that's what he said.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, and I mean, so what? It's been 3 years. I mean, and what does Lego? I mean, how long is like? I mean, like video hid inside a couple of those other kind of I mean, it's totally. It's like comparing a theme versus like a sub theme, but I mean, Lego usually does have a 2 or.
But those were disasters. I thought these were doing. I didn't think they were setting the world on fire, but I thought they were slow and steady wins the race. Is that fair to say? I thought they sold at a decent pace.
I thought they were decent, but so Sean, you're thinking it just comes down to the fact if they were to say not bring these out say next year. It comes down from just a not selling well point, or do you think
100%.
maybe or so you're telling me like back in 2020 they weren't like, hey, look, like, you know, we're gonna just do a couple years of these no matter what. You know, we're gonna put them in the Lego Star Wars, you know, market. We're gonna sell them. And we're gonna try them. Same with the mech set. You know, same with the mechs last 2 years.
Again, I'm. It's hard for me because I'm cynical at this point with knowing how things work. I think if this is true, it's because they did not sell as well as they wanted. I don't think it was Team Lego Star Wars goes, we can't think of more helmets to come out with. Now, evidence that they couldn't. Now, if I'm going to play devil's advocate, is it Boosh or Bausch? Does anyone know?
I've heard both.
Boosh. I like Boosh. Boosh is fun. All right. I feel like Boosh is scraping the barrel, so to speak. Although for me, that's climbing into my. I got to get it in hand, but I like it. Again,
Where's Django Fett?
I'm a Jedi guy.
Ooh,
my point is, like, Tyler, is that evidence that they're scraping the bottom of the barrel to get a Boosh figure out there? Maybe. Like, there's things that add fuel to the fire.
With the Bausch, and this is no disrespect, but I mean, I think we can all. I mean, maybe not everyone agree, but you're telling me there's not maybe 2 or 3% of why they did that, you know, due to Carrie Fisher passing away, like kind of
it's many years later. I don't think it was that. I think it had to do with we're doing Jedi stuff this year. Let's get one out.
But out of everything with Jedi, I mean,
that being said, as I said that out loud, I'm like, where the fuck's my royal guard? So
see, and like any sort of Endor helmet, like I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I mean, I think Bausch is fine, you know, as a helmet, but I mean, you're just telling me if you're saying,
listen, that would have been my grand finale. Hold on. 2 things. That would have been my grand finale, and it wouldn't have been my Jedi pick. So I don't know where that one came from. I have no answer for that, other than it's exclusive to Target and inherently it'll do okay. The real question is this terrible Dark Trooper helmet. I'm sorry, it's just the worst one to me. Is that going to even do 50% on the aftermarket, Tyler? That TIE Fighter will? I don't think. I mean, maybe because it's exclusive, but it's not going to reach 250. I don't think.
The biggest problem with the Dark Trooper, and this is just the fact of the matter. I mean, it's just it's out now. Well, it's not good to to begin with, but also everyone that is now sitting in this era where they see the TIE Fighter pilot helmet, 200, 250. I mean, I'll be the first one to say, I mean, I think you can always wait it out. If you're going to hold on to it for 10, 15 years, we'll see where it does then. But if you're looking for a quick 2-3 year 50% return, I think it's just the fact of the matter. I mean, everyone that saw the TIE Fighter pilot helmet, is going to be picking up a couple extra Dark Trooper. And for the much more minute and niche market for the poor Dark Trooper, I think there's going to be enough supply out there for a while to not warrant. an increase. You know, some people know about it now. People saw the TIE fighter pilot helmet. I don't think we'll see another TIE fighter pilot helmet, you know, with the helmet line.
Yeah, I think
Ryan, your thoughts? Do you think Dark Trooper is going to get a bump because of the TIE fighter thing? It will, right? But like, it's not aftermarket's not going to be anywhere near TIE fighter.
For what, the Dark Trooper? Nah, it's just not that popular.
You know where people made good money, man? You buy the plaques. You just buy the 4x4 plaques, and everyone that wants to rebuild it over the next 20 years, they got to buy a plaque to make it complete. So that's where some people were doing some pretty big things.
Are there any unique parts in those? The newer ones, right? There are.
On the Cody and Rex and like the Bosch.
I don't know. I think they're more rounded off or something. Like, I think the OG Stormy is pretty easy to recreate minus the plaque. Is that fair to say?
I think the only exclusive parts are the plaques, and then
okay,
I mean, the prints, of course, yeah, on a couple of them. Like, you know, Cody's got the or one of the two clones has a print on it.
All right, last topic. Everyone's getting tired. Lego Star Wars CMFs, are they ever happening? Ryan's saying no. Here's my argument for Disney is going to want to push out their Disney Plus content. I think that's another way for them to do it. You've seen how they've sort of ham-fisted some of these sets into the lineups. Book of Boba Fett. We're getting Ahsoka stuff later. I could see them doing that, putting oddball characters out. It's not going to be what we think it's going to be or what we want it to be. Yeah, there might be one army builder figure in there, possibly, but two things: Disney wanting to push Disney Plus, their most important, revenue stream. It's well documented. It's the most important thing to them. Number two, we're moving to boxes. You know, are they doing that completely out of nowhere? I think there's a reason for that beyond, besides corporate greed and recycling or whatever they're saying. I could see this being a reason. Tyler, I'll start with you. Any chance this is ever happening? Why not?
I would say.
What do you think the series will be? Like, what do you think the wave will be?
I think it'll be 14 original trilogy minifigures and 2 prequel minifigures, and when they do, go do it.
Yeah.
And I think if I had to make a bet, I think 2020. I'll be on record and say this. I'll bet $50 if anyone wants to clip it and cares about $50.
All right.
By the end of 2027, we'll have a CMF series. If someone wants their $50 that bad, come to me January 1st, 2020.
You're giving yourself 4 years to clear this bet. All right, I think that's
all right.
All right, Ryan. We really want to hear. Yeah, I mean,
here's my case for CMFs happening like soon.
Do you get asked about this every day? Literally.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Here's my case for it to happen soon. There's no minifig packs. The only reason there wouldn't be minifig packs is if they're going to do something else. Duh. If you want to make that conspiracy, there you go. I don't think they're going to do it. I made a pretty good video, I thought, that went through all of the reasons why they could do it and have done it in the past. They've sold minifigures on their own as recently as 2019 with the Obi-Wan Kenobi 20th anniversary minifigure on their website for $4 each. You could buy up to 50 at a time. And they said, we can't do it. And then the fucking Lego designers get interviewed by blogs, because that's how they fucking do it. They don't let the people who actually care about the thing and have questions about the thing and would actually, do good to have the communication with the community for ask these sorts of questions to the people that matter. But anyway, they're like, are you going to make a CMF? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, we're not in a position to make a CMF, which was like the most lawyer answer I've ever seen from Lego. But, we're not currently in a position to release a Lego Star Wars CMF. Who the heck says that like that without being told to say it like that? So, yeah, I mean, I don't think they'll ever do it. But like the point to that whole mini rant there was like, none of these idiots ask follow-up questions. They're like, will you ever make a CMF? No. They don't be like, yeah, but what about these times that you did this and this and this? And then there's no like a bunch of idiots asking questions out there. But anyway,
the whole Black Series, what is it? Hasbro, Mattel, that's been debunked, right? That part has nothing to do with it. That there's an exclusive on individual.
There might be, but fucking, you can see Lego clearly not following that. And if it was such an important
most
thing,
notably recently is the Obi-Wan figure, right? I mean, that was
Obi-Wan figure, yeah.
Yeah, that was sold individually.
$3.99 on Lego.com. Buy up to 50 at a time. I remember I bought 10.
It's right
Rune
there.
agrees. If it comes out, it's going to be Disney Plus. Do you think I'm right about that, at least, Ryan? If they do it, it's going to not
yeah,
be
I think
exactly what we
yeah.
want. Yeah.
But if one happens, 10 can happen, and so you do a Disney Plus, then you do an original trilogy, then you do a prequel. You know, you do more than one, obviously. But if the first one was going to come out and we were betting on it, I'd bet on Disney Plus because that's what they did with the Marvel, and it also makes sense to be able to just get a shotgun approach on it for the shows that are current. But I still don't think it's going to happen. I think that they just won't do it, even though they've clearly shown that they can.
Tyler, your thoughts on this? This is a big one. I mean, you see this happening, or like, I know you said 27, but all right, when it does happen, what do you think it's going to be? Why and why
You're
not?
muted. Tap your
You're
mic.
muted.
Okay. All right. So my biggest thing for CMFs, I think, and Lego's thinking, process would probably be, look, I mean, if they start doing CMFs, as much as, look, there's plenty of Star Wars characters. Padme's got 7 outfits, Anakin's got 20 outfits, like everything like that. There's plenty of characters to do, plenty of prints. I think Lego might look at it in the fact of, if they start doing these CMFs of these named characters, they might limit them heavily on some of these sets that do get carried by the minifigures. Like there's plenty of sets that the builds are very atrocious, very small, very inaccurate, but there's 2 good minifigures in there and it carries it. So I think, as much as maybe Lego's just being stingy, I think there's also maybe a point of they don't want to risk, maybe not having the traffic for some of those bigger sets, due to having the figures for only $4.99,
I mean, I would agree. There's so many characters in Star Wars. You just do characters you don't plan on putting in sets.
I mean, Ryan, what do you think about no episode 3 Padme in 18 years? And
like you just do that figure.
12 outfits in that movie.
Yeah, there's so many characters for Star Wars.
But like a Padme episode 3 Padme, they put behind $140 set, right? I mean, they could
have put her in the green Anakin's Interceptor. Back in
but they want to put that one.
We don't want to let them recreate the scene of him choking her. It's never going to happen. That's why.
That's very true.
No, they need to make.
It's so soft. But
imagine that as a play feature on the back of the box, man. Just showing Anakin.
I think it was one of those fake Instagram accounts that, like Lego Ohio or something like that, and it was like the wedding as a set or some shit like that. Like Anakin with like a robotic arm, and then Padme. Or what they need to do is they need to make Padme in her like super sexy, like low cut, like black leather outfit. That's the one they need to do.
That'll bring the boys to the yard. But see, again, that would be in a $200 set.
It's got to be 18 plus though, man. Make sure it's 18 plus.
Yeah. See. No, I think it'd be cool if they did somehow ever do Lego Star Wars CMFs, if they broke it out per movie, like an episode 1 series and so on. I think that'd be ideal, but who knows? Probably won't happen.
All right. As for my response, I think it'll happen one day. I don't know the exact year, but there's so much money to be made. I think this upcoming Disney CMF set wave will inform that a little bit.
Well, and you got the Marvel
as far as
series
Disney is
coming out,
concerned.
too.
Yeah, Marvel Series 2. Like, I think that'll inform this a little bit. I know it sounds weird, but I think it all ties together. It's the same parent company, but Ryan, you hit the nail on the head. There's thousands of characters they could draw from. They could draw this out forever. Tyler, you mentioned they could pad these series with whatever they wanted.
Boss Nass, bro. Where's Boss Nass after 24 years?
Well, Boss Nass, but see again, like, would I even put a Boss? I wouldn't put a Boss Nass in that. I'd release another Phantom Menace set to put him in behind, or know what I mean, like
Gungan sub, yeah,
right, Gungan sub, and I believe that's the one that had the Amidala everybody's after, right? Like, I would figure out a way to retro that before I toss his ass into a CMF. But
and if we want to get analytical too, I mean, dude, just clone legions, man. I mean, they can give us a phase 2 clone and a phase 1 clone in every color, man. Literally, just do one of those rainbows, little color chart things. Just put your cursor over any little dot on that thing and just put it on a clone.
What would be sick? Then you take the Everyone is Awesome set, you just replace it with clones for every color.
And do it with 75 different colors instead of just 12 even. Like, I mean, So they've got all the options. Do it with stormtroopers even. It's not canon, but it's
Give
like,
us Dex, man. Give us Dex.
Dex. Yep.
Actually, no. They need to do a Dex's Diner exactly like this for a freaking promo.
Well,
I've been preaching for that, man. That'd be
one
perfect.
thing. One thing I wanted to point out, and Ryan's done it a few times tonight, is I've been in the boardrooms, dealt with whatever, from the Walgreens to the Walmart to the Target to the Best Buy. All of these corporations, as mighty as they are, it is way more dysfunctional than any of us could ever imagine. So same applies to Lego, right? Like there's so many competing forces and agendas happening with all this stuff. So like the fact that any of this stuff that the true fans really root for get out is a fucking miracle, because there are honestly the red tape. That's why I purely work for kind of startups now, because I have a voice and I can give reason. But when you have such a compelling argument to put a product out and it gets like fucking killed at the 11th hour by some outside force, it's so disheartening. But again, at the end of the day, they're going to see the results of some of these, specifically Disney CMFs, the straight up Disney ones and the Marvel series too. That's what gives me hope for this, for no other reason than good old fashioned corporate greed and all this stuff. So I hope for everyone's sake they get to see it. And the last part of this, and then we'll do the go home. Could you guys imagine though the chaos? Like how would this be? Obviously the biggest CMF release ever. Would it be crazy? Are we talking Pokemon levels where old gray-haired fucks are lining up out front of Target and punching each other in the throat to go get them? Because everybody's casually going in right now, Ryan, Tyler, and collecting these orcs and shit from Series 24. But could you imagine if they put the clone boy you've always wanted?
Yeah, it's actually funny. That's super.
No, but think about it. Like the clone boy you've always wanted. What is it? The fucking 219. Again, I'm not up on it.
219.
The 219th. You remember, from Clone Wars Series 3, Episode 6. If they put the 219th in there, like the amount of chaos, and that is why I'm actually rooting for it, because I want to see everyone fucking bitch about how they can't get the 219th clone trooper. It would be fucking awesome. So that's why I'm rooting for it, for no other reason.
So they need to be in boxes, is what you're saying.
Oh, 100%. They need to be in boxes.
I gave up mine because of the boxes. I won't do CMFs. If they do Star Wars, of course, I'd renege on my.
Of course you would, for content.
Deal, but other than that, I will not buy anymore.
Well, most of your CMF figs you just sold on Whatnot at this point.
Yeah,
right?
I got rid of them all. I stopped. Full stop.
Yeah.
Had to go.
Because of boxes?
Because of boxes, I am firmly against it. I think it is the most anti-consumer thing you can do for a company that's so like la-di-da, look at us, holier than thou, on a pedestal. Like we do so much good for the world. This is the wrong thing.
I'm so glad Ryan wasn't on last week's episode. So I was over here defending boxes.
It was Sean versus Hive.
I like them because I don't like the fact that people can just cherry pick, but
you should be able to. It's a block. You can, like, yeah, I see what you mean, but people say.
Remember, I'm on the retailer side too, more than most people.
Yeah, what people will say is, oh, it's supposed to be a blind experience. That's what it's intended as. Well, if you want to experience it as a blind experience, just pick them up and buy them. Fucking wild. Otherwise, it's gambling. So. That's how I look at it. I don't think gambling's like should be illegal or anything. That's how you can frame it to sound bad. So that's how I do it. But yeah, that's bad.
The only part about
I don't want to launch into last week's thing this week, but for those of you that are new and have nothing else better to do, myself and Brick Hive went, what was it, Tyler, an hour and a half on this last week?
It was a good episode, man. I will say it was.
You were solidly back in Hive, but I thought I held up. I mean, I knew I was losing with the boxes thing.
99-1 Hive.
Oh, fuck off! I did better than that.
Well,
by the way,
we held a poll. It was surprisingly close.
Yeah,
it was 60-40 on the poll. By the way, Ryan, last week it was the world against me, and I was boxes. I thought I did it right.
You are wrong, but yeah.
No, I get it. You guys are used to.
You can't leave out the part that Sean finally.
Ryan, you are wrong.
Sean finally took the bags to his advantage and got himself some orcs and black falcons from a Target last week as well. So he
Look, this is me going to the dark side. So here's what happened.
You won't be able to do that in 6 months.
No, just to prove a point, though, I went and cleared my entire target of every orc and Black Falcon, and I'm like, I didn't feel good doing it, but I just wanted to show.
I did the
Little Timmy is fucked now because I got all.
I did the same thing at my Legoland Discovery Center store.
There you go. All right.
I have one yes or no question for everyone around here. Has anyone heard anything new about that Lego subscription service that they did that survey last year on?
No, and I heard you talking about it today, Tyler.
Well, and people,
no, I love your story. I think it's great. We'll put it out there real quick. Lego subscription service. Ryan, you've heard about most or some of this.
Yeah.
You're thinking about if you buy in it, let's just say $20 a month, you're in the subscription. You will then be able to purchase, as a result of the subscription, retired sets. Bad or good for business? What do you think about that? And again, Tyler, you mentioned it's not going to be all sets, but maybe some of the all-time greats get re-released to this small whatever.
I don't understand how that would work economically, unless your like subscription service per month was like $500.
So then they were able to get like $1 million a month to supply the production.
I suppose, yeah. Like I don't know. I suppose like the set would have.
Tyler thinks it kills the hobby. Tyler thinks it kills a hobby. Ryan, I've heard you say many times, if everybody has the same shit, if everything's important, nothing's important.
I look, no disrespect to anyone. I don't think
everyone
deserves everything. I just don't. I don't
either. I think it's cool to long for shit. If we don't long for shit, then we're out.
Because I mean, even that, like, Ryan, if you would have got that house you're in right now, if you would have just got that handed to you 4 years ago, for say the same price,
not as cool.
It's just not as cool. I mean, you had it, like you worked though 4 years, you were looking, you found the right spot. Now it's rewarding, and it's like, sure, maybe eventually you'll move out 10 years down the line, find a better place, but like then you're still working towards that, So, but like if you just said to yourself a month from now, oh hey, I want an extra bedroom, let me get a new house next month, then you just get it because you just can. Like it's just not as rewarding.
Right.
Same with Lego. It's just there's like this Imperial shuttle, dude. If I just got handed it 6 years ago, I wouldn't even be here tonight. Like
I think they might not do the subscription service with retired sets. I don't see how it works. Like, unless you're doing sets that retired a year ago and then you kept for 6 months in your warehouse.
I heard the molds are destroyed after 5 years. Is that true? Like
maybe I don't. Yeah.
I mean, not that they couldn't reboot the molds.
Inquisitor Hilt was 6 years.
But my point is, they
can decide to keep something, but generally probably.
Well, they can also make the mold again for this subscription service too, right? That's not that hard.
Yeah, but
as
Brian kind of said,
you can't even get a fucking proper Darksaber. Yeah, no, Tyler, I love the coverage on that. I agree with you. And what's fucked, Tyler, is because you're a outward Bricklinker Lego investor, you're going to get it harder than everybody else.
Yeah, dude. I mean, people hated me for saying that because they just think I'm caring about
for sure. It sounds weird, but I'm like Switzerland on all this shit. I'll hear both sides. For me, I love getting the unobtainable and getting your white whale one day. And if you remove that fact, like it's going to deeply impact everybody wanting to collect shit. The FOMO will disappear. You got Ryan going on the air saying, the 501st are done. Get them while you can. That'll be meaningless at that point. And that's not good for the biz. Like you got to go get that rush and get the fucking last one of those. Now, will they do them again? Sure, but nobody knows when exactly. Probably 10 years, maybe never. That's what makes it fun about speculation. Yeah. So you remove that, there is no FOMO. There is no key wide buys. Bad. I
think if they did that, there'd have to be some kind of limit. Like if you were able to have access to retired sets, like there's no way like they'd be able to make it. Possible and makes it. Let's say it was a set that retired like a year ago. I don't know.
Let's say my job tomorrow was to pitch and come up with this subscription service, right? They're like, Sean, you got to design it. It's coming out no matter what's happening. Here's what I do. Pick the number, 10, 20 bucks a month. Fuck it. One time $500 fee. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We'll figure that out. What are you doing month by month? I would do one set a month, and it would not just be Lego Star Wars. It would be across all themes. I would try to figure out, okay, what do I want to do on City? What do I want to do on Friend? Nobody cares about Friends. what would I want to do? Shout out to Friends, though. They're doing much better. My point is, like, as long as it's sprawled across, if you got one Lego Star Wars set a year under the subscription service, Tyler, I don't think it would break your business or anyone else's. The year that the set that you have 90 of comes up, you're fucked. Otherwise, I don't think it's a big deal. So I think as long as they rotate themes every month or whatever, again, I'm just making up this month thing. I don't know what the cadence would be. I think you were okay, right? But yeah, if they did a new Lego Star Wars set per month, like, fuck, burn it down. I don't think that's the way it's going to go.
Well, so the subscription service wasn't framed as it's like guaranteed that if they did it, it would be retired sets. They were just like, what would get you to buy?
It was on the poll though for a reason.
Like, yeah, it's like one of the options.
Yeah.
I think if they did it, they should do it like Brickmaster again, where it's just like something new, and that gets the max. No matter what, it's something new that no one has. So that's the maximum amount of people could possibly want to spend money on it. Versus if it's a retired thing, maybe 30% of people already have it, and there goes 30% of your money. I don't know. Just I doubt they'll do anything, honestly. But yeah, it took them 3 years to get.
But I agree with you inherently, right, Tyler. It would break the business, and not just for the dirty, nasty resellers.
Yeah.
If people were honest with themselves, they would say, "Yeah, I don't want that either."
Well, see, and
If
people
you're
got
not longing for shit. Yeah, go ahead.
And people got. I mean, look. I mean, I invest in Lego, but it's like my revenue. I mean, is all Bricklink parting out in YouTube revenue. Like, I'm not just like some greedy, only selling Lego and that's all I care about. Like, I mean, I part out sets that are on clearance and I make YouTube revenue. Like, I don't know, people just have an assumption where it's like, I know, but in the hobby for 15 years, YouTube for 10 years, it's like, I like Lego a lot more than just making a buck off a sealed set. So that's just my take, just so people know.
There you go.
Making a buck off sealed sets is fun now with Whatnot, with today's sponsor.
Yeah, guys. So today the stream's sponsored by Whatnot.
Congrats on the 1 year deal. I heard about that.
Yeah, 1 year deal. Ryan, I hope they did well by you on that one.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have a year. We were talking about doing 6 months, and I was like, 6 months would be silly because that would put us at the end of July, and then Brick Fair starts on August. And I'm like, why don't we do 7 months? And then they came back to me and they're like, how about a year? And I'm like, how about yes?
Nice.
So, yeah,
Good
really, really stoked about that. Really good opportunity to do really well for myself, and hopefully, I'm
happy for you, man.
Giveaway money, so I get to give people shit. That's fun. Like, I don't know how much stuff I've given away last year, as well. But like, it's nice to just people get really excited about it, so that's always fun. Yeah,
that's awesome. No, I'm happy for you, man.
They make it so easy, dude. I remember, like, I Tyler, I know you do a lot of giveaways. You should consider doing this maybe to grow your presence on there. If you're like interested in actually doing anything, because I know you stream there a little bit, but you know, the great.
Well, I just did it when we had a little, the 0% commission.
Did you get a month thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know. I just remember you having trouble, and I figured that's why. But no, like, it's doing the giveaway on there is so fucking easy. Like, I remember, like, back in the day doing like YouTube giveaways, and like, you want to give something out, and it's like, now I have to fucking go to the post office, and I have to figure out how to I have to write your name down. I have to get now I just press a button, ship a label. Hey, enjoy. It's gone.
Yeah. I mean, for me, luckily I'm going to the post office every day. So I mean,
you can get it picked up now. Like, I just get my stuff picked up. I don't bring it there, but
on what level do you have to? I mean, look, I'm only shipping like daily.
No, you just request the post, and when the postman comes by, if you have one package or 100, they'll take them. You don't have to be on a level. They just take, dude. Just send me a text or a DM on Instagram, and I will tell you how to do it. It's not hard.
Okay,
no questions asked. They just take. You tell them where they are. It's part of their job. They'll take them happily.
So you can just like leave them on the porch, or like
if that's where you're comfortable leaving them. I usually would leave them in the garage and be like, "It's in the garage," or
it's that easy.
It's that easy. You can.
I'm getting kind of sick of going 10 minutes to the post office every day.
No. You got to do the arranged pickup.
Get it. Yeah, and it's free.
What the fuck? Yeah, I'll be sending you.
They just pick it up when they come by. Yeah, you're missing out. I told this to Maddie's minifigures, blew his mind, and then he found out because he lives in bum f nowhere, Iowa, or wherever. They don't do it where he is. But his post office apparently is like a shack. I don't know. But I'm like, yeah. In the civilized Americas, you can get your mail picked up for free. That's just a normal part of.
When you say they're in the garage, are you doing that do you give them like access to the garage clicker, or how do you do
No,
it?
like
in the garage?
my at my parents' house, the garage would
Yeah.
just be open and
Oh,
they would
okay.
be
All
in the garage. But most of the time, like I would try to listen for them to drive by, and I'd walk it all out for them when I can. But if I'm not home or something, like, and because you do it the night before, it's like they're in the garage. But if they're not, I bring them out. But yeah, no, it's so much better to do that.
So you've never had
There
any
you go.
problems?
Little whatnot behind the scenes. That's good.
No, but now that I'm moved, I won't ship whatnot from like this house. I'm going to do it all from the studio at Orlando Brickworld.
Yeah.
He, I was talking to the guy that owns there, or whatever. It's like, yeah, we're going to have mail picked up every day anyway. So you can just put your stuff with ours. So I don't even have to do anything now.
Yeah, you don't want your address out there for sure.
Yeah. I'm going to have all my return address will be my suite there or whatever.
Hello?
Sorry, I muted to talk to someone else.
You hit something.
No, I did.
Sorry. All good. All right. Last thing. Speed round. Tyler wins. He's a main event. But Ryan,
Ryan bought a house, bro. That's a week.
well, Ryan, that's true. Ryan, weekly pickup. You do win by default. You got a house. I don't think there's anything better than that.
UCS show was pretty fucking nice though. So
did you get any kind of Lego Star Wars rarity that you want to sneak preview with us, or have you? Oh shit.
I don't have a lot in this room because this is going to be the mock.
He's going to pull out the Captain
Is there something you haven't shown? I want exclusives here, baby. What do we got?
Statue coming.
I hope so, but I don't know. I've been trying. I know the guy. I've texted him, but
you're telling me that dude won't accept 10 racks, dude. He's
the guy on eBay wants 20 and he wants 20, which sucks. But like
how can you just I'm surprised.
Wait, what is this for? What?
There's another guy that's like a private sale that said he would take 10, but we haven't been able to like get it done. So we'll see. But yeah,
what is this for the full size Rex? What are we talking about? Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the life size Rex.
Yeah, Ryan, you do need the full size Rex. Make it happen. Okay. All right, Brent. Let's do our mediocre pickups. These two guys win. These guys win. Go ahead, Brent.
I pretty much picked up the whole Speed Champs wave except for the Porsche because
I'd rather it be BTS. I'm disappointed.
I know. I was gonna go for BTS, but my thing was just like I would have rather saved $100. I just got other things I gotta buy, so I just picked up the majority of the Speed Champs wave, and then I just went to the Discovery Center and bought more Orcs and Falcons. That's it.
Okay. It's a classic Brent Hall.
You know what I mean? Just a little something. Nothing much. I really wish I'm living in regret. I should have got the BTS set for the memes, but should have done it for the memes. All right, Sean, you can unfull screen me now.
Did Sean did he leave? Is he kicked out?
No, I'm here. I'm pulling open a bag. Here we go.
I thought Brent was gonna be stuck on full screen.
No, I thought it was
the rest
fun.
of the stream.
I like putting the pressure on him.
All right, Ryan.
Shit. We're going back to Ryan.
Oh.
I thought you showed that in your vlog. Did you not? You probably.
I think you talked about it, but
just so you know.
That's so sick.
Oh,
that's nice though.
That's so.
I know. I'm addicted to that. I got a banner and I'm addicted.
Ryan,
he's got a.
Ryan, do you have a two-story? Do we know if he has a two-story or one? I know.
Oh yeah.
I'll ask him. Ryan, do we have is this a 2-story or a 1-story home you're in? You don't have to give away too many. The reason I asked that, though,
I'm not on the ground floor. How's that?
All right, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, the reason I asked is that banner would obviously work if you had 2 stories, a little bit more. That's the only reason. Like, where else would you hang it, right? It won't fit in the normie. That's fine. Yeah, we don't want to blow you.
Put it outside on a flagpole next to your American flag.
That one only cost me like $80 too. It's cheap. It's nice.
Whoa, that's nice.
That's
all right.
A good damn
besides
deal,
the house, is that your big weekly pickup this week?
Yeah, that's the thing that showed up.
5 mini sets. All right.
It's
all right. Cool thing. Mine's minuscule compared to some of you guys' stuff, but I finally got this. I really wanted it. It's very nice. Thank you.
You building it?
Yeah, of course. I build my brickheads. They're all here.
I build my brickheads.
Future proofing.
That GWP wasn't enough for me to get the BTS set. Really, I just didn't really want it.
And then I cherry picked all the Orcs and Falcons, and then the set to get me over the.
As a box,
I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it now. Tyler, I don't know if you guys approve of this purchase, but I thought I did all right. I got what was it, Brent? 110 for the Avatar tree in a Lego store with double VIP.
That's a sick deal.
It's normally 150. I got it for 110 and double VIP on
Damage
top
box?
of it. Yeah, damage box.
That much
So-
off?
Well, here's what happened. I'm a
He
little bit of a talker.
finessed
I don't know if
them.
you guys have noticed. I'm a little bit of a talker. So I'm like, hey, I want to get the GWP. She was like, can I help you? And I'm like, I'm not sure what I want, ma'am, but I need to spend 180 the day before March 1st because I'm a dum-dum. And she's like, well, we're pretty lenient. This mall was dead. I was in Denver for work for 4 days this week. I just got home just before the show. And the lady was like, well, we're a little bit flexible. I go, what do you mean? Like, could I do 150 and you give me the GWP? She's like, no, you still need to spend 180. I was like, all right. She's like, what are you into? I'm like, well, I just took my daughter to Avatar, and I noticed you have this thing over here. I'm like, is 10% your max on that? Or
No way you said that to them at the Lego store. Like, but
do I
they're
need to recap how I've been in the boardroom at Best Buy and Target, whatever.
go ahead.
With a straight fit. Tyler, hang out with me, man. It'll be good. I said, look, I'm not trying to be a dick. I've done, I was like, yeah, I mean, I kind of want this set, but 10% off. Like, I'm like, and I pulled it out. Not that, but I pulled it out. I was like, hey, listen, 10% off is not going to make me jerk the wheel on this one. I'm like, this set's already been 10% off a Target. Never has, by the way. I'm like, if you give me 20-30% off, like, we'll talk about it. You do this with my little fucking brickheads, we're at 180. Whatever. Magic happened. Exactly hit the number. Left with, I think, $250 in shit, and it was only 180, and I got all that stuff. And
Damn, this you actually.
and she gave me double VIP on the open box too. Not open box, damage box. Sorry.
I've never heard of someone doing that, man. So congratulations on being the first.
Well,
Dude,
I
I
go in the
was-
Lego store.
I was blown away when he told me. I was like, "Are you being for real?"
I showed him the
110.
receipt and I showed him everything. I'm like, Brent, no, it's real. He's like, I don't understand how you got this for 110. I'm like, I don't know. I just blacked out and started saying things till I got my way. So,
Roshan, you just got a lot more respect for me, man. That's effing crazy.
dude, that's why I love you, Tyler. You're a hustler just like me.
Well, dude, I wouldn't even hustle that much. I've never tried that, man. I've never had the balls
Oh,
to do
dude.
that. I'll do it next time.
We'll hang. Yeah.
Well, show me a Brickworld weekend. Get one to do it at Brickworld weekend.
I
Go
will.
to the Lego store there. And
I'll show you the way.
This is the way.
When people tell me I can't do shit, it turns me on so much. You have no idea. I don't mean in that way. I just mean in a man up way. Anyway, God, that sounded bad too. All right. Do we all do our pickups? I think at this point. No, fuck Tyler. Go ahead. Shit.
I don't have.
This is your main event. No, just pull up. Just get your white whale. That's all we need to see. Jesus Christ! Shout out to Tyler, the best. Ryan's well documented best UCS set of all time.
Yeah. And
Golf.
just a little self promo, I guess. I mean, actually, I hate to do it, but I'm building this tomorrow night. If
No, do it.
There you go.
Plug away, man.
Yeah, I'll be
away.
building it tomorrow night on my channel, 7 p.m. Central. So, so there's that.
This is the only week you realize, Tyler. It's the only week you wouldn't win because Ryan bought a house. Otherwise, you'd have the greatest weekly pickup of all time.
Yeah, no, how ironic. Then last thing I got today is just not down here. Is I bought when I went to DNA Bricks. I picked up a Bricklink order, just some basic stuff, and then I also bought that Ferrari Technic set that with all the stickers on it.
Oh yeah.
So I have a sealed one of that, but honestly, the one thing that always deterred me from building that was putting those stickers on it. So I bought a used one for $50, 100% complete, clean with the stickers all put on. So I did buy that today too.
Nice.
So that's the haul for. Yeah, there's nothing else. Yeah, everything else.
Well, there it is, guys. Appreciate your time. Shit, 320.
This was damn good. This was a damn good stream.
Record breaking.
I do. I mean, the numbers are crazy.
Ryan's locked into the
Thank you
cog.
guys so much. Yeah, Ryan's out. Ryan, we appreciate your attention for as long as it was. But what a ride. State of Lego Star Wars. I think we did it as well as you could in long form. Ryan and Tyler will get it done in 12 minutes, but we take 3 hours to get to these things. So
I'll have the sunglasses ready.
it's all good.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
For Tyler from LifeBRICKS, for Ryan from MANDR Productions, For Brent from Brent's Bricks, this has been Sean the Right Way. In this show, this thing we do here each and every week. If you're new here, please sub. More shit just like this with top tier Lego YouTubers and sometimes just us morons, but whatever. Has been a couple of brickheads. Hopefully we see you all next week, and by all I mean all 200 plus of you. That'd be fantastic. Peace.